Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. I'm Suzette Speaks. I'm here with a very hot topic to discuss today. If you were watching me on Facebook Live, welcome to our partners over on Jamaicans.com, and welcome if you were watching right here on the Suzette Speaks show. I am TV host and attorney Suzette Speaks. And what if I told you there was a politician who decided to post vacation videos of herself on a beach doing a headstand in the sand with her legs fully flayed in the air, wearing a thong while twerking? Well, that is what happened when one millennial lawmaker from Rhode Island, her name is State Senator Tiara Mack, decided to have a little fun while hanging out with friends on vacation, no less, during the July 4th weekend. Well, little did she expect for her moment to go completely viral. Well, she has indeed crashed the internet, as some people might say. She has spoken out about what happened. She is not in any way regretful of what happened. As I will show you in terms of some clips from her Twitter feed and her Instagram page, she's actually seeing this as an opportunity to use this sudden notoriety and a viral moment to spread her message, she says. Well, I'm going to ask you, do you feel that it is appropriate for a lawmaker, for an elected official, for a politician to post provocative videos of themselves while off duty, while on vacation? And should we as a society accept said videos as their First Amendment right, as their ability to express themselves and be, quote, authentic? Or have we lowered the standard too much in our anything goes society? Y'all hit the like button. I'm Suzette Speaks. I'm going to plug in my laptop real quick if y'all don't mind. I'm here as a person who is studying this topic because it was so interesting for me to see how much press it got and how important it was for we, specifically from women, as women, from a woman's perspective, to talk about it. I was quite, what should I say? I was taken aback when I saw the video. I originally saw it on Instagram. It came across my feed. I forget which outlet was the first to post it, but we are going to talk about the twerk. And I'm not a person that talks about twerks on my channel. This is not what I would call my wheelhouse, if you will. Let me turn up the light so y'all can see me good. This is not my wheelhouse. This is not what I prefer to be speaking about. There are much more pressing issues of life. But I do think it sets a precedent. So if it's going to set a precedent, we definitely need to speak on it. Did y'all see it? I am very, again, a little bit, I want to call it nervous because, again, as a woman, I fully know that as a complete human being, I have different sides of my personality. I have my fun side. I have my relaxed side. I have my kick it with my girls on the rooftop party in Miami side. Let's go. And if you see pictures of me like that, it's probably me. If I'm in the background of the video, it's probably me. But I'm not on no headstands. But is there a way that we can evaluate, or some would even argue critique, behavior such as this without seeming as if we're putting another woman down? Or have we dropped the standard so low that anything goes? Anybody can post anything. Now, mind you, the internet is a strange place. I know this. I'm not living in 1950, guys. This is a new era, right? But it really frightens me to think that, of course, we have some of the most darkest recesses of people's minds on the internet. Let's go. Hit the like button, y'all. Come on in. Suzette Speaks here. Really excited to share more on this topic with you. And if you are interested in it, I'm going to drop the link a little bit later for you to come up and this was the headline. The headline said, "She twerks for the people." Queer, as she has called herself and self-identified as a part of the LGBTQ community, Rhode Island state senator raises eyebrows with raunchy video. Oh my goodness. Legs in the air, head in the sand. It was intense, y'all. It was intense. Come on in and say hello. Please hit the like button. Again, today's discussion is going to be about whether this type of behavior coming from a politician, an elected official, first time state senator from Rhode Island, should be tolerated, or would it be appropriate for us to say, shrug the shoulder and look the other way? I know I have an opinion on it. Again, to twerk or not to twerk? That is the question. State Senator Tiara Mack goes viral for her twerk. Y'all come on in. This is the Suzette Speaks show. If you don't know what I do over here, real quick, I am a TV host and attorney from Miami. I try to elevate people by inspiring them, educating them, and enlightening them, bringing new and interesting topics to this YouTube space. If you're watching me on Facebook on the Suzette Speaks page, or on the Jamaicans.com page on our sister broadcast every Saturday, I appreciate you. Hit the like button, drop a comment, and let me know where you're watching from. I didn't really want to touch this topic, as I said, because it is so controversial for a woman to not stand in automatic solidarity with another woman, no matter what her behavior is. I'm naked on stage. Oh no, she's empowered. I don't have on no clothes and I'm on a headstand on the beach in wherever on July 4th. Salute me. I'm empowered. And I want to ask you, is this true empowerment? Is this true empowerment? Is this the example we want from role models, if you consider politicians to be role models? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't want them to be. Maybe you see it from the other side of the coin, which is, I'm happy that she is behaving authentically. And she has the right on her vacation to post from her. And again, it was posted from her official account. Come on, y'all, hit the like button. Show some love for the stream. Show some support, please, so more people can watch it. I'm going to get started. But before I do, y'all go back and watch the show I did the other night with Nathan Daly. It was so good. I'm just going to say so myself. American Psycho, a show that we did talking about Robert Crimo III, the person who ended up murdering 6 people at the July 4th picnic. There was a lot going on July 4th, apparently. We had state senators twerking. We had people pulling out automatic weapons and hurting people. We had a lot going on. Police were shot. This is America, y'all. And we're going to talk about some of the issues, although they're uncomfortable. But go back and watch this specific show. It was just posted, myself and Officer Real Nathan Daly. He did some wonderful analysis on this show. And I want you to see this show. Go back and watch his analysis of what happened to also Jayland Walker, the young man that was shot allegedly 60 times by police during a traffic stop. He opened my eyes to the possibilities of this possibly being, suicide by cop, deletion by cop. There were so many parts of the story I did not know. And we opened up a very diverse conversation about policing in America. And I want you to go back and watch it. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe, please. I got good shows coming up. Monday, Andre Hatchett. Tuesday, I'll be on the Gray Pill podcast. Wednesday, I'll have Ezra, the insurance broker. Thursday, I'll be on Bross Attorney Bree. Oh, we take this YouTube thing very seriously. So I appreciate all my speakers. Those are people, excuse me, are my folks who are subscribed to the channel. Shout out to all my speakers who are constantly cheering me on, giving me that positive feedback, watching, subscribing, and sharing. We're building a community here, but I have to do work today, y'all. Are you ready to discuss this topic? It's not my favorite topic. This is what everybody saw. The juxtaposition of what seems to be a very conservatively presented prior to this incident, young woman. She, again, was elected to public office in Rhode Island. She's in the Rhode Island State Senate. Youngest person there. Had a wonderful agenda, if you will, when it comes to things that she fought for. She's a first-term Democrat. Again, posted this, you see it on the right, video. I'm not going to play the video, on TikTok, which, she was wearing a bikini at the beach doing they call it a handstand. I say it's a headstand, leading to this debate on social media about whether it was appropriate for a sitting lawmaker to make this type of video. She says she was surprised by it when she was interviewed. She said she had no idea this would go viral and that she would become almost like a meme overnight. But she has become viral. She has become a meme. And folks are talking about it. That's why we're talking about it. Is this the same woman? Thank you. Breakdown, a woman's perspective. I took this image from them because they did a show on it as well. So I want to hear your opinion. I'm going to drop the link in just a little bit. Today's show is called "To Twerk or Not to Twerk." Senator Tiara Mack goes viral. So if you like interesting content, if you like talking about today's news, hot topics, a little bit of law as well, please come on through and subscribe to the Suzette Speaks show. We do work here on Saturdays around about 12 Eastern. It's a beautiful day here in Miami, Florida, but this is a serious topic, y'all. So I'm just going to dive in. When I first saw it again, I was a little bit like, whoa, let me try to get the full picture. Let me do a little bit more research and not pass quote immediate judgment on any human being. Because the first thing I want to do in today's discussion is to humanize Miss Mack, because of course she is in fact a politician. Hit the like button as you come in, drop a comment, let me know where you're watching from. Before I do some work, let me welcome my people. All right, let me start and welcome my people. Hit the like button. Again, the show today, to twerk or not to twerk. State senator from Rhode Island, Tiara Mack, goes viral with her TikTok video that was shot over July 4th weekend. Y'all know y'all can support the stream as well. Got a Cash App. Again, Super Chat is open. Welcome. Suzette Speaks here, talking about the viral video that, again, shook up the internet, where I think, again, because of who she is, because of the position she holds in government, in her state, it ruffled a whole lot of feathers. But before I get started, let me say hello to the people. Hit the like button. Come through. Let me see what the people have to say. Good day. First in the chat, Before the Billions. How are you, my brother? Before the Billions says what? She could whine for you? Okay. BTB in the building. Sun Breeze. Oh boy. What's going on over here? Thank you. Tea Time said the lipstick is fire. I came a little hot into this discussion as I was preparing this morning. I was like, oh, wow, there's so many things that I feel as a Black woman that I have to do, as an attorney, that I have to do to represent not only myself, but my community well. There's a lot of young people now that don't have that same feeling or sense of burden. And we're going to talk about that, the changing in the generation. Right? How I was raised, 80s baby stand up. You think about, again, the limited access that a lot of people have to middle class, if you will, minded Black people in the United States, speaking, depending on the city you are. I'm making a big generalization, but I want you to understand where I come from. I'm going to say it from my perspective. I know there was always instilled in me by my parents this social understanding that when you go out of your house, you represent not only me, myself, my parents, my family, but my community. We've seemed to have gone away from that. We've seemed now to just be on this individualism, on this, what should I say, self-expressionism, that no matter what it is that I do, there is no consequence and there is no one that I must answer to, or there should never be any stigma or shame attached to certain behavior. We're going to talk about whether people should be shamed when their behaviors are inappropriate. But in our current society, the push, and some would argue the more liberal push, is to say anything goes. If it feels good, do it. And we are to be observers quietly of what many in past generations would call horribly misguided, bad, unbecoming behavior of a human being. Now, again, I'm going to start with some of my own personal experiences when it comes to representation. When I go out, I'm not going to project how I feel on her. We're here to discuss it. I know everyone will have an opinion, and most folks, again, it depends on when you were born, depends on where you were born, how you were raised. And I'm not going to, that's why I'm going to start the discussion with humanizing her, because she is, in fact, a human being. She has a whole big old life outside of these, 10 seconds. And we're not going to talk about her in a vacuum. And we're going to hopefully allow you, I'm going to drop the link shortly, to voice your opinion on what you thought when you saw her. But I'm going to lay some of the foundation. What's good? Tea Time say, tacky. Put them donations in her Her undies, says Mr. Okay, we start now. Okay, chat is fire. Thank you. Game Dreamer 58 says, I wouldn't want my state senator doing that. I hear you. Thank you. Hey, Sunbreeze, glad you're here. Yes, tea time ads. Everything is not for the internet. This is I think the big question. So many of us are getting into, social media, myself included, here on YouTube. I'm not going to put every part of my life here. No. We all have different sides, as I was saying earlier, right? You have a right to express yourself. When I'm on vacation, trust me, I am on vacation. I do not want cameras in my face, and I do not necessarily feel it would be appropriate to post everything as a grown person that you do for everyone else to see. Others are saying, why not? You're authentically doing those things. You are, dancing, carrying on with your friends. But what happened to the group chat? Can you just share it in the group chat? Can you just share it with the immediately, close friends and associates and family members that actually know you in real life and know, this is made for a private audience? Or have we come to the point now where nothing is private? I've seen videos on this wonderful platform we're on where people are talking about all kinds of parts of their lives. Very, very graphic, very, very, some would say oversharey, very oversharey. Is there such a thing anymore? I want to hear what you have to say. Yes, on her head like a dancehall queen. She's a dancehall queen for life. Whoa. Andrea La Loca, what's up? Says hello. I'm listening by the pool. Good for you. Relax. I want to relax after this. Trust and believe. Y'all can see I'm ready. Step up, my host. Go. Hey, Patrice, nice to see you. WT Funk, it's been a minute. How you doing, brother? I see you all the way from Germany, says. This is hilarious and sad. Our culture is always showing monkey behavior. His opinion, thank you. Miramar representing, I appreciate you, Miramar, Florida. Showing off, WT Funk says, for her white friends, his opinion. Game Dreamer, I'm not pre-screening. I'm just reading the comments as they come. Drop your comments. We'll drop the link in a little bit if you want to come up and share how you feel. Do you do what you want, just certain things you shouldn't be posting. Your image does matter, especially in representing the people. She's running for re-election, you guys. Running for re-election for her seat. It's very interesting. But again, hey, Doug, I want you to drop a comment first. I'm going to do some work talking about what she has said in response to what, the outcry has been. Again, she's not backing down. She has seemed to embrace this as a moment where she can use it for her, political, not only her career, but her platform. And what I've pulled from her Instagram, I'll show you, because she is using it fully to say, since y'all want to pay attention, don't forget I did all this other work. But people are not necessarily tuning in for your other work. But she's saying she's going to capitalize on this moment just by her behavior. What she's posted, I'm going to show you what she's posted on her Instagram and some of what she said on Twitter. There's also some controversy of some other responses she's given. I've watched her interviews with her local station, pulled a couple comments from that, but we're going to have a good discussion. Hey, Taipan says, Black people need to stop leaving the door open for what's clearly wrong. Black women have historically had a bad reputation. Historically, I think on purpose, but I'm thinking about how we were framed after, especially in the United States, slavery, etc. Understand your point. Making Black women the face of all sexual dysfunction is dangerous. Thank you for your opinion. Keisha Colon, nice to see you, says, nowadays, everything goes. Our culture is going nowhere fast. Now, some would argue this is why we're seeing, especially, I can't believe still, the Roe v. Wade decision, not going back. I'll go back and watch my show with Xavier Black. 6 people in the United States, our U.S. Supreme Court, 6 people drew a line to kind of swing the pendulum back completely in an opposite direction from where society, as you described it, here, some of you guys in the comments have described it. So is this kind of like a backlash, some would argue, when it comes to some of the decisions we're seeing being made? I'm going to get into it. I'm going to humanize her first. I want her full story. She is more than a twerk. Let's just be clear. But we're going to examine the behavior of someone who puts their backside in a thong on TikTok, on her official account. It says Senator I think Mack. I'm going to grab my phone. from an official account, is there an accountability piece that we need to address? You hold a public office. The people who are in your district elected you to represent them. It is about, for me, service to the people. Now, people will argue. Some commentators have argued, well, she was not in her official capacity. She can do what she wants to do on the weekend. But I ask you, if this was your representative, your state senator, wherever you live, your parliamentarian around the world, whichever design of government you live under, if you saw them online with their backside in the air, legs splayed, how would you react? Is there a standard that we should hold specifically? And again, I'm using these circumstances of facts. She is a sitting politician. If a man had done something similar, all right, y'all don't want none. Let's go ahead and keep reading the comments. All right, good morning. Welcome from Miami. Drop your comments in the chat. I'll read as many as I can. I'm going to drop the link in a little bit. You can't make excuses for her, says R. Payne, because she is a woman. This is not empowerment. It's lewd, lowbrow, and completely unprofessional. If Black women can't check this, then there's no hope for you all day. Let us know how you really feel, R. Payne. Hey, Mona D. Shake that thing, says Chemo. Come on now. I know you have some insight. Let me know what you really feel. Doug, how are you? Says there's plenty of people that support her. Absolutely. I've been seeing that online. I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit today and do not see anything wrong with her twerking for votes. Now, she has become a viral sensation, literally from articles from Houston to across the pond, Daily Mail, everybody is covering her now. What message does that send, though? Right? Get naked and put toot that. Oh, Lord. And where are we now? I wonder, and I've been thinking, where's her fundraising gone? Her social media, her views in I think it was like 70,000 views right away on TikTok. So now I can't even imagine how many. But if we all, we can't not pay attention. But there's got to be certain, I don't want to, I'm not a judge or jury, but I wonder if the voters will take this into account, depending on who her opponents are, obviously, what the race looks like. But I wonder if it will affect her in her reelection race. Let's hit the like button. I'm going to bring up some more information about her just shortly. Yes, she is a first-time state senator for the Rhode Island State Senate. She has been, very open with her belonging to LGBT community. She has supported issues that has affected that community. She's saying, pay attention to my work, not this darn video. I've done so much more. So somebody says, I thought the First Amendment protects her rights of individuals of free speech expression. Of course it does. But just because you have free speech, the question becomes, should you use it in this way? Is it appropriate? That's the question. So whether or not she can, that's one thing. Yes, she can. But the question becomes, should she be posting something like this as an elected official? Thank you, Sunbreeze. Yes, there's so much to discuss here. Hey, Joni de la Plata on Facebook says, hi, Suzette. Great to be here. There was a time when discretion, how you carry yourself with tact and respect for oneself, office of standing in society was of the utmost. Thank you, Joni. Now there's blurred lines. I know you absolutely is. We're gonna talk about it, y'all. I've looked up and I'm not impressed with her policies. That we're gonna talk policies in just a little. Hey, Mona D. Salute to everybody. Links, big up yourself, brother. How are you? Yes, the move was like school at 6 a.m. First of all, we're not gonna judge the twerk because I looked at the twerk and I was like, sis. You could have saved it, sis. Okay, we're not going to judge the twerk. Sis. No class says links. Oh, I see some super chats. Thank you, Trish. Trish, good to see you. It was indecent. Now, everything is on every platform now. People call Instagram literally soft pornography, honestly, with what people can post. And it's just really, really low brow for sure. Men trying to keep their eyes straight. You go on Instagram, bro, I feel sorry for you because there's so much, let's say, distractions. But people will say, this is a woman's right. This is her body. Because she took public office does not stop her from being a woman. Because she took office does not stop her from having fun. And we're going to figure out if that's what the standard should really be. Wagwan says Links, Game Dreamer. If I was running against her in that district, I would be trolling the heck out of her with that video. Good day. West Coast in the building. Nice to see you. Quincy, hey. Biro, good afternoon to you. Barry, good to see you. Papi Blanco, Wagwan, mommy says. I think my Colombian brother, how are you? Her policy to teach sixth graders to pleasure themselves. I have not done full research, but I'm gonna put up her tweet about her pleasure education being one of the things she enjoys teaching. You could see I'm a little uncomfortable, but your words, not mine. I see you, Doug. DL always supporting. What's up, Mr. Saint? How you doing? Says what's good. She seems to be a part of the no accountability. Look at me movement. Now, see, the problem is, DL, the problem is this is what the people voted for, right? This really conservative looking, straight laced politician. So once everybody has they, wild side. I'm not going to say people are not going to be human, right? I'm not going to say that. But there's a time and place, people will ask. When was this the time and place? Is TikTok the place to put your vacation escapades if you are a sitting politician? People going to ask. But yeah, that beautiful smile, that conservative hair with the cute glasses, well coiffed. People are asking, really? This ain't it, ma'am. This is hurtful to your image and hurtful to the greater image of Black women. That's the argument. And so you have folks who are going to be totally against and peeved that she would perpetuate what is seemingly a stereotype about Black women being overly sexualized, right? Only desirous for our bodies, not our mind, not our policies. There are people that are going to argue that she has set Black women back, that Black women need to be mindful that even as an individual, what you do affects all of us. There are so few representations. Some would argue, oh, well, there's Black women in everything. Black women this and Black. But what are the representations saying? There are few representations of us that hold us up and put us forward for what our mind, right, and our abilities say. They would much rather paint pictures of us with the booty. Like, y'all don't want none today. Thank you, DL. Always supportive on the super chat. Hi. Danny G says, vote her down. Now, I've been known to have a drink or two on my vacations. But what do you post? What do you post? It's disgusting, I think he means. Yes, I hear you, Danny. The last good man in Jersey says, ask yourself how do you feel if your actions were posted online, then realize everyone has a camera phone. Now, this is the thing. Don't want to come down too hard because all of us have our moments. And I totally recognize that, Danny G. I am not perfect. And no matter who we are, there are going to be moments where we are not our best selves. And should we be judged by those moments? Ask that question. Should we be judged by the moments when we're not our best selves? Should we be forgiven and move on? Should we be held accountable first and face consequences because of our not so good moments? That's a very good point. Again, she's a human being. She had a life before this. Campaign trail with a colleague here. If you can see it on the screen there, it says re-elect Senator Tiara Mack on that clipboard that she's holding, right? She's out on these streets, y'all. Her game plan has not changed. She is saying, I am here. I have a voice. I want to be authentic. This was me being authentic, as I've seen her say, and I'm going to paraphrase some of the interviews I've watched. I want to be authentic. Why? I've struggled, and I'm paraphrasing with her local Rhode Island local station. I forget the call letters, but she said in a one-on-one, I've struggled with this having to put on a persona. But babe, you ran for office. That's a part of it, right? The public persona. I deal with it. As an attorney, I have to put on a certain hat, way of speaking, way of dress. It's a part of your public protocol, right? And the decorum that goes with the office, or for me, the license I hold. I can't go to court any kind of way because I feel like it, because I will feel inauthentic. We were talking to me here about professionalism in a sense, but she has talked about it being a struggle for her in terms of her own self-expression. Why can't I, why do I have to look like this 24/7? Why can't I express myself fully? And there are times when I think it's perfectly appropriate, but people will still ask this question. I'm going to again talk about this from what I've experienced. I want to hear what you have to say. I think I saw another super chat. Hit the like button though. We're doing work over here. Big up Jamaicans.com, which are our co-hosts on Saturdays. Thank you for sponsoring Suzette Speaks on Jamaicans.com. I am broadcasting live every Saturday there, around about 12 noon. Again, hot topics is what I talk about, and issues. We are talking about Senator Tiara Mack, first-time senator from Rhode Island, state senator. Again, this is what the problem is, y'all. Naysayers, however, quickly, I think this came from the New York Post, fair use, quickly ripped her for needing to rely on a tacky stunt to get votes. If this is one Twitter responder, if this is what running for our, if this is what's running, there we go, for our country, we are in serious trouble, one commenter wrote, while another said, if her opponent doesn't use this video, do they even want to win? Hello, hit the like button. This is Suzette Speaks here on YouTube, and I appreciate you. If you're watching on Facebook, you can come on over to the channel and subscribe. But yeah, this is the issue, guys. There is a very polarizing element to this. There are people that say, let her be. She's younger, millennial, lawmaker. We can't be perfect all the time. I agree with that. I'm a human being as well. I have my moments. I let down my hair. I dance. Again, if you see a picture of me in my head, it's probably me. And I understand that need to really be authentic to yourself. Listen for me to my music and do my dances. I need that. Absolutely. Will I record every bit of it? Absolutely not. You don't need to see everything. Even on my Patreon, who I give behind the scenes access to. We got a limit. You don't want to see me at my worst. But this again, she thought was a fun prank, fun on the beach, July 4th weekend, hanging out with the friends. And so she posted it. But we have a lot of pushback. And some would say, I'm glad. Let's raise the issue so that others will know, no way, this is not appropriate. This is not what we do. And this is not what we expect from politicians. If you are an office holder, you need to adhere to the decorum, to the professionalism of your office. So there are two things going on here. There is definitely the, I want to be free. I want to be authentic. I want to express myself. And this is my right. But you are not just in a vacuum because you have been elected to something. We just had a case recently here in South Florida of a vice mayor cussing at a police officer. Well, she was off duty. She was driving. She was mad that she was stopped and left the traffic stop with a couple of expletives and was like, peace. And she's being, I laugh and I giggle because I was really almost like, whoa. It was like a giggle of shock. I was like, wow, you didn't have to do that, sis. But yet again, people are calling for her to step down. I don't know if people will end up in that case pushing for it. But this is what people are really taking umbrage with, taking offense to. No, you were elected by the people. So this is her Instagram, 13,000 followers. I don't know where it started before. I'd encourage you just check it out yourself. Because what she's doing is trying to use the platform. And I'm going to drop the link as I talk about what she's using this viral moment to do. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Thank you. So you could check out for yourself her responses and how she seems to be seeing it as a moment of opportunity. Seize the moment. All publicity is good publicity. You know, that kind of approach. I guess you have to. If everybody knows your name all of a sudden, let's fundraise. Let's go. So it is going to be. I'm going to drop the link. Join the conversation. All you have to do is press on this link where it says "Join the conversation" in the chat, and when you are able, you can click on it and come up. You don't have to show your face. You can just speak. I can just see you in the back. You can flash your face, and it could be just your voice. You don't have to show your face. But I do want to know what my people, what my speakers have to say. Hit the like button if you're not subscribed. Show some love. We do work over here on the Suzette Speaks show where we try to elevate, entertain. Oh, already in the back. I see some people might be a little bit anxious to come through. Hit the like button, show love, share, and comment. It helps more people see these type of streams. But yes, today's topic, to twerk or not to twerk? That is the question. Discussing this viral moment of State Senator Tiara Mack from Rhode Island. What were your thoughts on it? How did you feel? Was it something that you think we should just be looking the other way? Who cares? Was it something that brought you much offense? Where you thought, this, we got to put a stop to this. We got to stop allowing all kinds of behavior to be tolerated. Where do you stand on it? I see you in the back. Taipan, can you just flash your face for me, start your video, and then you can turn it back off, just so I know you're not a bot. And as we continue the discussion again, thank you, Taipan. I'm gonna, ask that we are respectful. Again, she's a human being. She did not start, and nor will she end with this moment. But this moment has captured the attention of the world. Gone viral. So, Taipan, I'm gonna bring you up. Good day. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I've been a listener for some time, but I think this is my first time actually coming up.
Thank you. Where are you located? May I ask? Around the world.
Vancouver.
All right, Canada. Oh, Canada is in the building. Welcome all the way up in Vancouver. Thank you so much for watching. And what are your thoughts on today's topic?
Yeah, my thoughts are as Black people, we're leaving the door open too much to behaviors that we know are clearly wrong. I'm just going to start off with just a little bit of a short speech here.
Sure.
But making Black women the face of all these alternative sexual kind of behaviors is dangerous, especially in the MAGA movement and what we're seeing around a lot of angry people on the conservative side around certain issues beyond just this twerking thing. We have the Roe versus Wade topic. We have the quote unquote alternative lifestyle folks. And a lot of the time, what we're seeing is this a pattern of associating Black women with all of these different things. So regardless of how you feel about any one of these particular topics, is just there's a strategic pattern I've noticed of making the association between Black women championing these initiatives, whereas other people as well too also support these initiatives. But it's dangerous to have your face associated with this, especially when you know how strongly polarizing many of these topics are. And the fact that Black women are being used in politics, for example, with the MAGA crowd and Fox, with the Maxine Waters, the squad phenomenon, and now this twerking women, it gets to be like extremely dangerous when you're when you're intentionally and strategically being used as the force of this. You even see this to some degree with even the Black Lives Matter initiative, how Black Lives Matter, rather than Fox or MAGA addressing like a Caucasian feminist, what they tend to do is they tend to speak via proxy and say this is Black Lives Matter, this is Black women championing this stuff. And now we don't even use feminism as the term for any of these initiatives. We use woke, and we know who speaks in terms like woke is actually another one of those veiled kind of concealed
Dog whistle.
dog whistles intended to conceal obviously like whom it is they're talking about. And like it's weird that we, like many of us, no matter how intelligent we are, no matter what our professions are, you could be in like law, you could be like in like a language, but for some reason a lot of these things go over our head. And what we end up seeing is you're being made the face of the country going down in a direction that many other people don't want to take in it.
Your points are well taken, because there are those who will agree, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here, not necessarily my personal opinion, that say if you want to make something popular, put a Black person as the face of it. So I understand what you have expressed in terms of your thinking when it comes to pushing certain agendas as you see them. I do think this is not It's not a one off because there have been non-black people in office who have also demonstrated bad behavior. We're just happen to talk about her today. But I just also want to say it's not like our white counterparts are perfect, let's say. We can talk about the bad behaviors that we've seen, not necessarily sexualized, but other behaviors that politicians unfortunately have kind of come in to expressing and almost getting found out about. Let's just say it like that, right? So I do want to express and try to offer a little bit of balance in terms of that she is not the first, and nor will she be the last politician to step in it. Let's just say that. But as you're saying, when it comes to certain communities, will they more so? And I'm asking, you think they get more of a pass, if you
Oh,
will?
I think a lot of the time when we identify patterns or dog whistles, we tend to be very dismissive, no matter how overt the dog whistles become. For example, even some of the Trump, the stuff the MAGA crowd was saying on Twitter, as it relates to our being kind of scapegoated as the enemy of America. We know that was out there. We know some of the scary things that have been said over the past 5 years, specifically about ourselves. And a lot of the time, what we do is we tend to try to mitigate what's actually being communicated to us. And I think what we're seeing with some of the things that have been like how Maxine Waters has been singled out, the squad,
Hmm.
other
Hmm.
women, like for example, her name's like I can't think of it right now, the one with the cowboy hat, but there's a set of specific black female politicians
Hmm.
that are being disproportionately made the face of many of these things. And regardless of what you think about this particular topic, just like
Hmm.
I didn't state a position on the Roe versus Wade thing, nor did I state a position on the LGBT thing. Is just what I'm speaking more to is the pattern of using black women as the facade for ideas that other people also agree with. And sometimes we have a trouble delineating between whether or not we're in support of any one of these things and the implications of being made the facade for any one of these topics, given the
Understood.
potential ramifications in this very hostile environment.
Well said, and I understand. Let me read this super chat, and I'm going to respond to what you just said. Miss AKA Lady says 9.99 on the super chat, supporting the stream as always. Thank you. My sister says a busy day, gotta catch the replay. Just want to throw some a couple dollars on the senator. She may need it after the next reelection. Again, we can make light of it, and I appreciate your humor. But I want to stay focused as well on what Taipan is offering. You guys know I also have a Patreon that I offer behind the scenes of my life, as well as out in Miami, as well as exclusive conversations that are not on YouTube. But just to address what you just said, sir, I do think what you're saying, especially what we saw with the Black Lives Matter, and let me make us a little bit bigger, Black Lives Matter movement, is true. The face was, and I almost had an opportunity to interview, and just calling her name because she's one of three, Miss Patrice Cullors. I didn't, she canceled, I think she was pregnant at the time. I had an interview, this is years ago, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. And I just remember she was, pregnant, canceled, it was fine. I was like, okay, no problem, we'll reschedule. We never rescheduled. When I think about how that, the uncovering of all the mess within, and y'all hit the like button, the Black Lives Matter, um, I don't know what to say, paradox, right? The saying of one thing, but the acting and moving was definitely not about Black lives, and specifically Black men's lives, which is how this movement kind of gained that great momentum of support, which was the killing of Black male lives. But if you looked at, and they were called out for it, that the time Black Lives Matter on their website promoted, we're here to protect Black trans lives, we're here to protect Black queer lives, et cetera, et cetera. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying I am opposed to that at all. But there was no space and there was no voice given to the very people where the movement, had built itself on their backs, which was the voice of Black men. So I hear your point. If that it kind of explores it a little bit more. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things I'm saying is just I was more speaking to the fact that when the topic of obviously the promotion of alternative lifestyles and the destruction of the nuclear family is discussed, they most of the time on the right wing side they'd rather speak about Black Lives Matter, which is a group that's only existed for maybe like 5 years, right? And attribute this pattern to or this philosophy to Black Lives Matter, whereas we know that obviously you went to you're very well educated, like on the college campuses, right? It's not Black Lives Matter telling young women to pursue possibly solo parenting and some of these alternative lifestyles to the nuclear family. But what you end up seeing is an over attribution to a freaking hashtag that's only existed for a few years, rather than speaking to obviously feminism as a whole. So you end up with a pattern of misattributing the direction the country's going into Black Lives Matter or
Mm,
wokeism, which is you,
right.
rather than speaking to feminism, which is them. So what you end up seeing is a very hostile and very deliberate effort in order to scapegoat Black people, and more specifically Black women, as essentially the catalyst or the mechanism by which society is trending in the direction that it is, which they don't want. But they don't want to point at white women; they want to point at you.
Thank you. Understand now. It was deeper than what I was. Thank you. I understand. I understand.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a bait and switch, if you will, when it comes
Exactly.
to who is so called being attributed with that voice and that opinion. And it's not Black women most times, but it's kind of overemphasis in the news and the media as and by individuals to say
E-
that this is the group carrying that message when in fact it is not originating with that group. Am I
Exactly.
following? Gotcha.
Just like if you look at the media on the Roe versus Wade topic, it's plainly obvious what side of the fence you fall on. But what you end up seeing is like when they're speaking about Roe versus Wade, even in the Canadian media, what you
Hmm.
end up seeing is Black women being used in the street interviews at the protests, and you see them at
Oh yeah.
the
Oh,
top
we're
of the
the only
article.
ones that are. I don't mean to interrupt, but we're the only ones apparently using, termination of pregnancy, apparently, because they're never interviewing anybody white. I agree. I agree with you 100%. That's not the face of that particular issue that the media or powers that be, however you look at it, conspiracy wise, really want. Your point is well taken. And we have to be careful that our images are not co opted by others who want to utilize them both to create, and it sounds like you're saying, forgive me, animus towards us, as if we're destroying the culture, as if we are carrying messages that are so called, anti, say, traditional, and that these are messages that are actually being espoused and generated by much would probably be attributed to, an argument can be made, to middle class white liberalism, if I may say. Is that
It,
where you're seeing it originate?
Exactly. If you look at any college campus, the majority of the domestic students are studying, maybe not the majority at every school, but the social sciences. And we know how the social sciences are, and whom is at the head of the class, at the head of the class. So you end up with a very weird dynamic where people would rather attribute all this stuff to like um, like a numerical minority of people, disproportionately poor, disproportionately less influential, and then you end up being the
Scapegoat.
subject of
Yeah,
the right wing animus on, especially on Fox News. So like
absolutely. You're the
you've seen this with
boogeyman. Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
you saw it even how dangerous it's gotten when the Oath Keepers or some of these other militia groups pulled up even on Maxine Waters' office, and that's a woman.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
As she
And
was the threat. She's the person that's causing, the country to fall apart. She's the person that's so woke, as you say, the dog whistle,
yeah,
that is pushing an agenda. That is not even her agenda because she doesn't have the actual political prowess or power, in fact, to push it. People above her have to pull those strings, and you out here as the spokesperson. I get what you're saying.
Yep.
Very, very
Same
interesting viewpoint. Go
same
ahead.
with Lori Lightfoot. Same with some of the these other prominent black female mayors. Like when you read
Mm,
into what's really being communicated about their impact on just not just their municipality but the culture itself, a lot of the commentary goes beyond what it is that they're capable of doing in order to make them obviously obviously public enemy number one, and not
right.
being able to read into that, and not being able to kind of perceive what's going on around you, no matter how obvious it gets to be very dangerous for you.
Wow. Through the looking glass. You're making me go a step deeper. Let me bring you back to this young lady. And I'm really interested in what your thoughts were as far as this video. Do you think there was an agenda to this? Was it just a bad moment? It was a bad moment of judgment, I should say.
In,
Or what do you think about it?
Initially, I thought she had created a TikTok, and maybe her social media wasn't on private, or she had shared something in a group text and it had gotten leaked.
Right,
But then
right.
once
Somebody
she
just yeah, put it out there.
Exactly. Then she doubled down on obviously the fact that I'm a Ivy League educated woman. I'm very accomplished. I'm one of the youngest state senators in Rhode Island history, or whatever, or maybe in the country or whatever. I
Hmm.
don't think it was in the country, but maybe it was just
Yeah, I think it
Rhode
was
Island.
from Rhode Island. Hmm.
And then she also doubled down on making posts about twerking for a lot of these other topics that have been those more
Yeah.
quote unquote dangerous, cultural kind of quote unquote degradation topics. I'm using the obviously the right wing kind of way of speaking
No,
about those
I'm gonna put him
groups
up
of
because
monkeys.
I'm glad you brought it up. Like,
You know,
some might agree or disagree, but this is on her directly from her Instagram. But continue your point, and these are some of the posts I'm gonna put up next. Thank you for mentioning them. But go ahead.
exactly. So I thought it was a leak, and then the fact that she doubled down on this stuff, and then it comes out that I don't take a position on obviously like how she lives her personal life, but it's just all these things together kind of make her a very convenient device, and speaks more to that thing I was referring to of being at the wrong place at the at the right at the wrong place at the wrong time, right? So like you want to be careful about some of the dialogue that's going to obviously come about as a result of her actions here.
I'm so glad you decided to come up because again, I think what you're saying is super thoughtful, and it's going to give a lot of people different perspectives as to the implications of this. Because a lot of people think it's it was just a young woman having fun on her vacation. What's wrong with it? But I do like the way that you frame your opinion on basically more of the um, the wider impact and how we're woven into these stories in terms of what the issues are and who's pushing the agenda. So I appreciate that. These are taken directly, as I told you guys. I just took a few from her Insta. So in her Instagram, Mack District 6, she has vaccinated, boosted, reproductive justice advocate. Opinions are my own, not my employers, et cetera, et cetera. But she has now used this moment to create this hashtag twerk for. So you'll see her post, twerk for, and then different pictures. There. I just pulled maybe three or four, maybe five of them, but there are tens of them on each post. Things that she's saying, hey, since you're paying attention to me, I'm going to use this moment to so-called promote different parts of my, political agenda. And so now it's cute, it's catchy, it's the twerk for police accountability, it's the twerk for a green new deal, cute images, user-friendly images. This is really what I'm about. I'm trying to take back power, if you will, and direct the narrative that you guys want to limit me to this. I'm going to use this as a moment of, empowerment and, you know, um, political being able to politically elevate my message. You guys thought you got me, hemmed up. Nope, I'm here for policy, right? So she's been
Yep.
putting these up. Twerk for protecting. Can you twerk for protecting Black people? It is. I don't know. What do you think about this kind of directing, if you will, of
I,
the
I
scrutiny? Go ahead.
Frankly, I think it's dangerous what she's doing here. Just like I thought it was dangerous when Black Lives Matter ran a campaign where they were twerking at the national monuments, and I think they weren't. They were twerking on the national monuments around it was a significant like a U.S. Holiday, and they were just twerking in front of the White House. They were twerking in front of what's that big obelisk thing in Washington?
Oh, my Washington Monument.
Exactly, the
No,
Washington
Washington
Monument.
Monument. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So doing all these things, and then just like you just see a constant pattern between obviously the sexual stuff and black people, sexual stuff, black people, sexual stuff,
Right.
black people, and
Right.
just
Right.
we never actually just get to the bottom of this. And even I don't want to concentrate on fixate on the Black Lives Matter organization, but
Mm-hmm.
even when I was watching the protests over the summer last year, it
Mm-hmm.
just we know that it's mostly straight black men that are getting arrested beyond the shootings and getting arrested and serving disproportionately arrested, disproportionately punished,
Mm-hmm.
serving well, yeah, disproportionately punished. And then what you end up seeing is just this preoccupation with groups that represent a very small subset of the overall black people that are actually getting caught up in the prison system. And then I don't know why they do it, but just I speak more to the fact that it becomes very dangerous and self-defeating to engage in this kind of behavior. And you want to be mindful of some of the things that are being said out in the open, specifically on the right wing side, because a lot of the time I really don't think that we hear it, no matter how no matter how loud it gets, right?
Yeah, you've made some great points. I'm going to read a couple of the chat comments. Y'all, please come on up. I've dropped the link if you want to join the conversation. We're having a great one. Thank you, Taipan, for coming up all the way from Vancouver. Yes, Quincy asked, I wonder if former Pakistani, rest in peace, Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto would have twerk for legislation. Would Elizabeth Warren have twerk? Now, again, older woman, not necessarily millennial, I say more mature, different generation is a better way to characterize it. But no matter what, I don't think even if they, can't surmise what younger Elizabeth Warren would do, but 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't probably present themselves this way because they know the damage control, the image tarnishing that happens when you are out here, viewed again. And I think to your point, Taipan, through a sexual lens, you are removing the power of your voice. You are removing your power of being taken seriously and being now limited to back to return to that stereotype of this is what black women are. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. This is what they are. So I think I hear what you're saying, Taipan. I'm gonna comment a little bit more, read a few more comments. Hey, Joni again says, oh, again, nonsense. Barry adds, if she's so called for inclusivity, her message does not resonate with the straight hetero. I think he means men. Your point taken. Thank you. Let's get the likes up, says Sunbreeze. Quincy, I bet that don't work for green energy. Twerking does not work for promoting green energy, he says. TTOO welcome says, with business politics, you want to set a standard / tone that you are serious and about business. You're dealing with, quote, opponents. Hello. Doug agreed. I don't know what he said prior. Hey, Ace Butterfly says a lot of these early civil rights activists have made lifelong careers in government and have done nothing for Black people. I wonder if, let me read the prior comment and see if I can find it. Yes, Barry says her campaign, I was reading the one right before, her campaign posters illustrate and feature only women. That's all we need to know. And you can go on Insta and check them out for yourself. Yes, TTO, that's how I feel. My business and personal life are separate. Business people know to be about basically business, right? Quincy adds, it's the demonic urge to hot girl summer law, not the demonic urge to hot girl summer and live your best life to the detriment of respectability. Again, Joni adds, would the VP of the United States, if she have a twerk, stop it. I can't even imagine it. Don't we gotta put with the VP. Got a VP have a little bit more maturity, age, different generation. But I hear what you're saying. Wow. Yay, Andrew. Good to see you, brother. Says twerking, it's becoming too common, right? We mainstream this thing, right? And then Miley Cyrus, I think, took credit for it, but whatever. It's too common and it's kind of low brow in certain situations. Yeah, the actual physical movement of it is kind of like, wow. I feel that we make a mockery of ourselves when we keep on doing these silly things, which now can be seen globally. This is the problem. Our image is not our own. It goes viral. And then I think some of what Taipan alludes to my guest here. And again, if you want to come join the conversation, the link has been dropped. Please drop the comment. Um, I don't twerk, trouble man. My big mouth self. I do culturally whine. I do a little circle, but you're not gonna see me necessarily pop it, but that is a Miami dance. Miami is known for our shaking and whatnot. Not my style. I have much more. I'm a grown woman. I would rather do me a little bit more classy circle of the hips. My goodness, are we getting technical here? But yeah, why dance when I go out? 100%. But I'm not. You're not gonna see me on the head top with the twerk. That's not my style. And again, my standards are different. Again, not to make myself seem so superior because I have fun. I relax. I have my hair down. I'm a real person too. And everybody has the right to be. But again, what you publicly share is the question here, and what it says not only about you individually or about an agenda, as we're talking about here today, and whether it is designed for the minimalization of a broader, scope of people, right? Does it now say, see, all Black women? We don't care if you dress up and you look nice. Where's the picture? Let me bring it up. Y'all hit the like button and come up if you want to talk about it. Don't care if she fools you with this. She's still like, quote unquote, that, right? It is a diminishing. It is a placing in a box, a continuous, reinforcement of this is what they are. Don't let it fool you. You know what I'm saying? So it is a far more reaching and as being argued by, I believe, Taipan, far more damaging effect is happening when you see this type of scenario. And it might be by design, right? To your last points, I'm gonna again try to address some of them. Taipan, you're doing a great job of kind of opening up the deeper discussion about what our image means and who utilizes this tactic you were talking about. And thank you for bringing that up. And I'm going to bring it up again because I want you guys to go back and watch this show that I did with Officer Nathan Daly. He talks about this a lot, and y'all was hating on him in the comments. He talks about how, and I think there's like 1.6 million. I don't want to get the number wrong. Go back and watch the show to get the accurate count of how many people are arrested. 1.6 million people are arrested. I think it was like Black people. It was much more in the United States are arrested every year. And of those, he gave a number that was super small. Again, go back and watch this show. It's on my page on the YouTube show, the Suzette Speaks. You just look up Suzette Speaks on YouTube and you'll find it. It was the last show we did. And when we talked about it, and in that show, we talked about the Jalen Walker shooting as well as the psycho in Highland Park in Illinois that shot up the July 4th parade. But one thing that Nathan tried to emphasize to us is that of the 1.6, and I think it was that number, it's a number that sticks in my head, but go back for accuracy. I could be wrong. And watch this show on my channel. He talked about only like 100, say, argument's sake, I don't remember the exact amount, but it was just a very small amount, are actually, their lives are ended. They're killed by police. And he was like, think about that. In the ratio of, say you have 1.6 million arrests, 100 are killed. It is horrible if you're that one family. It is horrible if you're that loved one. You do not want to be, that in that number. That is not what you want to be. But in relation to how many millions, it's less than whatever point of a 0.00 of what a percent. But yet when we watch the news, you will make it, you will imagine it being a far greater amount than it actually is. It's a very, 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 very small subset of the population. To Taipan's point, and I'm gonna bring you back up, Taipan. I think that is very true, especially when it comes to, again, racial tropes as he's kind of described them, and other ways in terms of messages that marginalize. And we have to be very careful that we are not stepping in it and offering up opportunities. Are we getting deep here? For these same type of tactics that, again, this goes viral. It's one senator out of 330 million, whatever we are now in the United States. But it seems as if it is played over and over again. And therefore, it will be interpreted as, a standard of behavior, much more frequent than maybe, anybody else. I don't know if there's going to be another Black elected female that does something like this, but it has power in terms of developing the idea that this is far more prevalent. This is who we are. This is the standard that we hold and take up. You're doing work over here, Taipan. Thank you for joining the conversation. Y'all hit the like button. Please support the stream if you enjoy conversations like this. We want to make this an open forum. I see you, the world class in the back. Thank you for joining. Again, hit the like button. We're talking about the twerk that went viral, the twerk heard around the world. To twerk or not to twerk, Tiara Mack goes viral. Support the stream any way you can, please, and thank you. I appreciate all of you watching on Jamaicans.com. Big up yourselves, and on the Suzette Speaks pages, as well as on the YouTube page. I'm going to bring up the world class. Are you ready to come up? Give me a thumbs up there, brother. All right, how are you?
Good day. How are you?
First time. Good to make your acquaintance.
A pleasure to meet you. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well. Thank you and welcome.
Well,
listen, I got to know your channel based on you holding a show rating. Was it rating the women of YouTube? Was that what it was?
I gave you a great rating. I just want you to know that.
Did you give me great? I was rated, y'all. I was a little nervous. 2 people sent it to me. I was like, what is going on over there? I was at an event and I couldn't watch it. And I was a little nervous. All right, Taipan, thank you. Taipan, give me your final comments before you go. I know you got to drop off. Give me your final comments, and then I'll get to the world famous. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Taipan. I know you're going to drop off. Any final comments you want to make?
Yeah, my final comments are just you have to be more mindful of the over-representation of a particular image as it relates to people being aggrieved about the direction the country's going in. And if you find yourself constantly being identified as kind of the catalyst for things going in the direction that it is, and like we're at a point where essentially like the government was nearly overtaken like January 6th, then gets to be like very dangerous, especially when you have the president saying the kind of crazy things that he was saying. Like you have to be mindful, and not out, like you can't just be prioritized with fixated on having fun and joking around. You have to be more serious. That was a very scary thing to see on the news. And
absolutely, thank goodness for the January 6th committee. But I hear what you're saying, brother. There is it's scary to be scapegoated and not even know it. Let's leave it there. Let's do that.
Exactly.
Let's leave it there. You have brought up some great points. Thank you for joining me. You're welcome up anytime. I appreciate you coming up this beautiful Saturday. All right. Much love to Canada and those in Vancouver and beyond. All right. The world famous. Now, where were we?
So what had happened was
when they do shows about you, y'all didn't know. I was really okay. I haven't watched it. I was like, for my self-esteem, I don't think I'm going to watch.
Wow.
I don't want to. I got to just love myself and love the skin I'm in. I don't want to.
I understand.
Y'all think people got thick skin and she's a strong. No, I'm actually a human being.
Everybody, I don't care. I like to know. If somebody think I'm a 6 or somebody think I'm a 5 or 8, I'll be wanting to know. Then I'll be like, okay.
A lot. You know, put a 1 in the chat if you would like other people to rate you on a public platform and let you know on a scale of 1 to 10 how attractive you are. Put a 1 in the chat if that excites you, or you wouldn't be offended by it, or you might be excited by it. As do you want to go by Noble? Is that what I should call you?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, I'll call you Noble. So welcome, Noble. Nice to have you. I don't mean to interrogate you as soon as you come up here. I
should be interrogated. If I put out in public, I should be willing to be.
Hey, I was sweating. I was like, all right, don't look at, you need mental health. Don't look at this show. That's what I told myself.
And shout out to Brother Bernard. He speaks about you all the time. He made sure I was aware of your channel. I did see you on TLA, caught you a couple times. I was like, oh yeah,
Yes.
she was on TLA.
Yes,
And
it's been a minute.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely raves about you. Bernard absolutely raves about you.
Oh, well,
And
shout out to Facts and the Uncomfortable Truth with Bernard, as always, supporting, holding me up. I
always.
appreciate him. He's a great brother as well with his channel. And I know you have a channel. Real quick, just tell people about your channel and what you
Oh,
do.
the world class. We just want to bring on knowledge and information to a world class level. Get back to a genius level. Bring information that most people have to pay for. Just bring it to you for free. And that's pretty much it. So, as it relates to our harp on etymology, parsing, and syntax, grammar, learning law,
Oh,
um,
okay.
and
I
things
got to
like
get more
that.
familiar
Out,
with your content. Hello.
I'm big on grammar because it's like we talk more than we do anything. Big on help. I have the health video today with me and Mandrell was having a good conversation. Shout out to him.
Wonderful.
But that's all it was. It was pretty fun. Well,
I'm excited.
so I've been talking about child deletions for like a year and a half, like a year and a half. So it was pretty heavy. It was like I seen everybody finally come around when Roe versus Wade came up, and I had did some heavy videos. And I was like, we just gonna have fun. So what we did was me and a couple of guys, we just came up with a rating game, because we're trying to fill the space that Kevin Samuels left a little bit, but we just wanted to have fun, and I think we did. We had fun, and it wasn't that nobody. I think it was done with good taste. It was a couple jokes. You weren't
Well,
involved in the jokes.
let me see how my ones is in the chat. Let me see if other people would enjoy being rated on YouTube. But it goes with this platform. We're gonna say that. And there's a lot of no's. There's a lot of twos for trash. RM, how you doing, sweetie? Oh my God, Chemo, stop lie. Stop lie. TTO, give it a 2.
Hey, for fairness, they can rate me. 0 being bad, 10. Look, I'm with my son. Rate me. So I think that's fair payback, right?
Well, we'll move on. We'll move on, and we're gonna go to today's topic. But thank you. I do want to check out your content more. Maybe we could do a collab later on. But Noble says, Ace Butterfly says, world class is part of the manosphere. He has the lights. You know the background. Look at that background. This is very manosphere. I love it. Good touch. And rating what? Yeah, Gypsy. That's how I felt when they sent it to me. I was like, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this.
We just been ghetto. We just been ghetto. New York, I think New York was represented, Chicago represented, Baltimore represented.
Oh, okay.
We had a lot of guys on the panel. Poppy Blanco was there. Don't act like you weren't there, Poppy. You in the chat.
Oh, Poppy was a part of the gang. Oh, okay, nice to know.
He's going down with me because he likes snitcher. So she like Charleston. We was talking about it yesterday. I'm telling you, we going down together, brother.
Oh, wow. Well, there you guys can check out his channel. You please, one of the mods, drop his channel in the chat. So I'm gonna pivot now to Tiara Mack, the woman of the hour. All that has been said, obviously, and I love what Taipan is a deep thinking brother beyond just what this specific viral moment means. But he contextualized it very well in terms of like this whole movement within our country, the MAGA movement in specific, as he mentioned, looking at the face of certain messages and whether or not they originate with, and we're going to say it, Black women. The messages are being hidden behind, for whatever purposes, political figures that look like me and you. So what were your thoughts when you first saw it? So we can go that direction because he started a wonderful conversation in terms of his ideas about why this can be very dangerous. In terms of, again, people blaming, quote, us, and I'm summarizing what Taipan said. If you're just joining, hit the like button, for things that we're not even the thought leaders of, but we are the face of. Yeah. So I got to go back and like really think about what he says, because as he was saying, I was like, oh, I got to marinate on this and give that some more thought. But where were you when you first saw the headstand and the slow motion? I don't know what it was. Where were you in terms of on the spectrum? And thank you, Ace Butterfly. Y'all like and subscribe. Go ahead.
Definitely. I've literally only seen this picture. I haven't seen the video. I don't want to see the video.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I don't want to see it. I didn't know that. I thought that was just like a random picture that somebody got. I didn't know that was a U.S. senator. But what, again, me and Poppy was he had a stream yesterday, and we came to the conclusion that twerking seems to be an act of rebellion, a pointless act of rebellion. Because Poppy even played a video where this young pregnant lady was flipping out in Wendy's or something, whatever that store was, and she's knocking stuff over, and before she leaves, she twerks. So to me, it just seems to be like an act of defiance.
Like kiss my behind-ish or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, or but bring shame to your elders type of thing.
Oh yeah, make you
because-
so uncomfortable, create so much tension, and I'm gonna sexualize this moment, kind of thing, like slap in the face, but with your body.
Right.
Okay.
Because if you look in nature, like twerking is I'm shaking my body parts where that can get pregnant. But if you look in nature, the one doing the mating dance is the male. So why is she doing it? How would she be twerking outside? You know what I'm saying? It's interesting.
I hear
you.
you.
So it's like an attempt or a call to do some role reversal because they do it in places that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really make any sense to be twerking. Men don't like it. I don't really care. The only time I like get shaking is when y'all cooking and you like spinning. You like, baby, look.
Hold on now, Noble. You don't be watching the twerking videos on Instagram?
No. You can be doing something. I'd rather you cook or just come lay down. I don't need you to do all that.
Noble is noble. If this is true, you're not constantly, following all the what is it? I don't even call it. I call it booty models, but IG models and so-called, famous people.
Because too many of them are plastic. I don't eat plastic. I only eat organic.
Not okay. I'm gonna leave that there. Let me read this. Let me read this message in the chat. Oh my goodness, Noble, come over here and make me blush. Okay, Joni De La Plata says, in this society, Black women work so hard to debunk the stereotypes of sapphire, to whip your finger in your face, roll your neck, the mammy, the oversized, what should I say, nurturer of them all, big breast, big bottom, come nurture, come feed off of me. I'm a utility. I am for your, not only pleasure, but for your service in a way, etc. Yeah, here she comes. I hear you. I feel that, because a lot of people feel that, but others say, just again, devil's advocate, nope, she's her own person. Why we got to attribute, the long history of, stereotypes within our country and our culture, to this? But it matters. What do you think? Is it too much to say this is bigger than her moment and that it will have an impact on how Black women are viewed in public and around the world?
I would tell my little brothers all the time, every time you crack that threshold of that door, you represent me. And how you behave can end up getting somebody hurt. Because if I got to leave where I am to come where you are because somebody messed with you, somebody getting hurt. So you represent more than just you. And for you to be a senator, and that's how you show, that's how you show your, I don't know
literally
what you
your ass. Sorry,
you literally showing your ass, which is the thing the old people used to say when you're doing something wrong. So instead of showing how intelligent you are or innovative you are with linguistics, which I think senators are trained to some degree to have, if that's what you're showing as a senator, we gone. This is
sad. And Rhode Island population has not, I'm sure there's not that many. I got to do some more research in terms of the percentage of Black people, etc. Come on, it's Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody from Rhode Island, not knocking y'all, but I'm just saying. And when you have so few places where, we finally get to break the, that the proverbial ceiling on, and then you come in there and then the behavior is now, overblown, because people will say, well, she just had this one moment. I get it. But it's been overblown and she couldn't control that, but it's what happened. Right. So
she could have controlled it by not doing it, but
no, I could say,
but after that's done, yes,
I 100% agree. What I mean is, like, when she's interviewed about it, she's just like, I could not have imagined this going viral. And again, hindsight in 2020, but we need to be thinking ahead of the possibilities of where will this image go. She didn't think anybody cared about who she was, what she was, and we didn't know anything about, her 24, 48 hours ago.
But wouldn't that be a issue to our self-worth, period? Because why wouldn't you think you're important? It's not like you're not here. You've been here for 20-something years.
This is true. This is true. And again, she thought she was in the corner of the universe. No one knew, of the web. No one knew her TikTok. But it only took one for us to now know her name and her name to be known globally. Now, do you think she should have a consequence, like just the voters being her consequence? Do you think she should have to give an apology? Do you think she should be removed? Was it that kind of thing for you?
I'm rule oriented. If she hasn't breaking any rules with respects to her office and her seat, no. I don't think if it should, I don't think nothing will happen. I think um, with so-called black women being the majority in our community, they want to be able to twerk while you shopping where they work at. So I don't think nothing gonna happen. They just want to be able to twerk just to be rebels.
Not
I
all
don't
of
think
us. Not all of us.
not all, well, here's what I say about the all, right?
Yeah,
Because
right.
when I was coming up, I hadn't had no son. I didn't have a child, and then I was held accountable for men not being there. So I'm like, okay, that's what we are, right? Okay, I'll step up and do my stuff. My son is right here, being five. So when I got to hear that all of us were bad, I just stepped up to the plate. I'm trying to understand why won't that happen on the other side.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So you're saying, and like I said, I have highlighted just a couple. These were in the New York Post. There have been naysayers. So there have been people that are like, stop the madness.
Yeah,
There needs to be a standard. We cannot just have an anything goes culture anymore. Again, we've been pushed in that direction for, a couple decades now. And there are a lot of naysayers. So there are both men and women who have looked at this and said, this is terrible. Like, why would someone who is actively seeking reelection put
yeah,
herself out there like that? And is it a stunt? I don't think so. I think it was probably her just again, oh, I'm on TikTok, let me do something crazy.
right.
But it wasn't, I don't think the judgment was there. And I'm like, well, do I attribute it to not enough life experience? Do I attribute it to her being younger, millennial? I don't know. I still think people need to have common darn sense.
I posted in the chat. I think today's 28-year-olds or yesterday's 14-year-olds.
Yeah, this elongation of adolescence. I agree with that. I think it takes a lot more maturity, or a lot more time is given for maturity. Like the way our parents were at 18, they was already having babies, married, and like moving into the adult stage of life.
Because we suck as parents now, because we get so, like, when you become a parent, you get so terrified, like you're scared all the time, and we just eliminate risk. But that, like, God told me, he said the same thing: to keep you from pain, keep you from progress. And I think we've been hindering our the maturation of our children by eliminating those opportunities to get hurt. When if you're looking on the side too, for what she did, what would be the difference between her or a dude being a senator and getting about $10,000, putting it down his arm, smoking a blunt with a do rag on?
I was trying to think of the
Male equivalent, right? Right.
male version. I can't get it out.
Or wearing his pants off his ass as a senator.
Yeah.
Doing the gritty, whatever.
Or like in a strip club, like not, maybe dancing provocatively on somebody.
Yeah.
I would be upset if I saw that in a man. Again, sexually overt behavior.
Yeah.
While in office. Nobody did that. Hey, Mashawn Denise. Nobody did that. We just using it as a comparison. But yes, RM calls it stunted adulthood. I'm trying to tell you, twerking. Hey, Poppy. Poppy says, I'm telling y'all, twerking is Black women's superpower 2022.
That's the.
Why y'all think girls get BBL to twerk better? Oh Lord, now I got more superpowers than this. I'm sorry, that's not my super. I ain't got no BBL though, so I can't speak.
Yeah.
Lord of mercy.
See,
Dolo. First, I'm seeing that name. I'm sorry. Just give me 1 second. Let me read a couple more. I'll let you respond. TTO. It all goes back to fun with you, and a typical American mindset is fun. So, like, if it's fun, if it was innocent, fine. Quincy says we have no standard in our community. Yes, I thought this. I couldn't say it out loud. Peen pick, I'll say, or a male senator being caught as sending a peen pick. Yes, I agree. I was trying to think what would be the equivalent. Solo Dolo says we try to have too much fun as Americans. We don't know what to take things serious. Quincy says why the sisters never stop that. Many of you just let your sisters do shameful things for public concern. Now that people do stuff for clicks. People do stuff for clicks. The more outrageous, the more wild and crazy, the more you'll see such bad behavior, because it's almost like the train wreck. We can't keep our eyes off of it. Right. And I'm mad sometimes when I watch, I'm like, I need my life back. I watched, don't know how y'all feel about it. Did you see that Amber Rose made a song?
She made a song after that case was over.
What was the name of the song? Which one?
I have no idea. Oh, Amber Rose, the girl.
Amber Rose, you know the one that went with Wiz? She just made a song with Manny Fresh, that one. And it's called Get Your I think it's called your get your 304 on, get your hoe on, something like this.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Everybody get, you know how they had everybody get your roll on back in the day?
got
But
it.
now she made a play for it. Everybody get you, and it's the same kind of rhyming pattern. Got my wrist, got my, okay. Y'all
It's
know,
the same
anybody
one.
know about Hot Boys know what I'm talking
This the
about.
same one that did the SLUT walk, right? Because I
I
don't know. If
think, yes,
same one,
yes.
right? Yeah.
So I'm looking at that. I wanted my 3 minutes of my life back after watching that video. I was so mad that I watched this. I'm like, I gave this a view. Not to digress too much, but she's a special case in her, as you say, her brand
Mm-hmm.
is quote women empowerment, quote unquote women empowerment.
I don't
Be
understand this empowerment. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. That's me personally.
If you have, that's why it's bad that they keep. I'm sorry that it's a little late. I got a video rendering. I know it
That's
did that.
okay. Go ahead.
But I I don't know. But everybody don't have a religion. I have a religion. But it's stupid to me to hear women empowerment when the thing that gave you power in the first place never took it.
Hmm.
So
I hear you.
who you getting the power from? And the same people that took your power, you getting it from them? How that work?
I know.
That's like somebody steal your stuff and then they sell it back, or you get it back on their terms.
I think this is yeah, very good food for thought. Peter Investor M. Hey Michonne, thank you for coming up in the back. Peter Investor M says, I believe she succeeded on branding herself, but failed. Like again, some of this branding that she's brought up, twerk for justice,
Wow.
for abortion justice,
Wow.
twerk for police accountability. Like she's trying to use it now to brand her policies. And I'm like, does it work that way? Can you seamlessly all of a sudden now just, oh no, now twerk for a Green New Deal, twerk for black people, for protecting black people? Now come on now, sis.
Ain't this
Does it
work?
work for y'all? Are y'all taking it? Michonne Denise, I want to hear what you have to say. I know you. Hey sis,
Hey, Michelle, what's going on?
what you
Hey,
doing?
hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, good to have you on. What do you think about all this so-called rebranding and trying to take a viral moment and make it about policy? And did she have the right to do what she wanted to do on her vacation? Where do you stand on all this?
Well, I agree with World Class. If she didn't do anything wrong rule wise, then if that's who she want to be, then let her be who she gonna be. I just wanted to twerk and you said something else, World Class, which is awesome. I gotta follow you. That it's like rebellion or something like that.
Yeah.
That is perfect. That is the perfect explanation for it because every single time you see black women, I'm sorry, that's who I'm talking about. That's what I am. No one get offended.
Mm.
Is that when they're doing something wrong, they end it with twerking.
Yep.
You can't tell me that they're doing that for uh, African dance culture reasons. No,
Amen.
you're doing it.
Let me mute myself.
You're
Amen.
showing your ass. Sorry. Basically, at the end of the day. So I happen to have done a live stream yesterday on a video where someone was saying that they're trying to embrace hoe culture, Heaux, trying to differentiate the word. It's not WHORE, it's Heaux. I said it's HOHOE, WHORE. Say whatever you want. It's this crap right here, and you're trying to make it seem like it's okay. And it's if that's what you want to do, then do it. But I'm like, no, is this all we can relegate ourselves to be? And it's attached to all of us. I don't care what no one says. It gets attached to all of us. And it's annoying. I'm tired of it, personally.
I hear you. That no matter how you think you're doing it, y'all go support Michelle Denise. You have some funny commentary, guys. You guys got to check her out. She does a lot of these viral stories as well, and puts a lot of punch into her reactions, and I just love them. Check out Michelle Denise, guys, and her channel. But yeah, thanks for dropping it, RM. But yeah, it's so again, it's an individualism. I can do what I want to do. It doesn't impact anyone else. But as black people for so long, we know that's not the truth. Like we know, hey Sandy B, what we do, what we say, how we behave at work, in the courthouse, wherever you are, is indicative, unfortunately, for mainly because they don't know black people personally. They don't have relationships individually with black people. They have not had, depending on the part of the country you live in, regular interactions with black folks. So what is seen on television in flyover country is like, oh yeah, that meets the standard. That's exactly what I think of them, or what the news has told me they were for the last 20, 30 years of my
Yeah.
life. So here it is again, proof that wow, it's who they are. So if we, and again, people will say, I don't want to have to live my life to fight a stereotype. I don't, not nobody's not saying, nobody told you had to run for office though.
Yeah.
Nobody told you that you had to become a quote public servant. And so we know that we sacrifice, especially if you are in, the public eye, a certain amount of, your privacy, if you will, and how you live. You
Yeah.
are on. If you are a public servant and at the gas station, somebody will come up to you, hi, Mayor so and so, hi, I have an issue with this. They don't stop because you in the supermarket. They don't stop because you chose to run for office. So I take umbrage, I take issue with a little bit of the kind of like, I'm I can separate that. I can put that down and pick it up when I want to. I don't think you can. What do y'all think about that?
Listen, when you you have two parents, those two parents have two parents. You go back to your grandparents, that's eight. I mean, that's four. You go back to great, that's eight. So right there, you represent a lot of people. You represent a lot of people. You go another generation, that's 16. You go another generation, that's 32. You go another generation, that's 64. 64 people were walking around with their free will to bring you here. You represent a lot of dead people. That shouldn't even be an option.
I agree.
To just put
I
out
agree.
any image for anything, and that's not including. That's just your immediate bloodline, and I think people don't understand that. I don't. That doesn't even cross people's mind. All them people went into making that face that you see every day.
And even longer. Thank you, God, for the survivors.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, God, for the survivors.
Exactly.
And maybe that is the sad part about the dropping of the ball that I know you probably maybe have talked about. No, but I've talked about it here.
Yeah.
Painful memories. And y'all who have just joined this chat, thank you so much. The live numbers are out the gate. Just I love it. Thank you so much. We're talking about the twerking viral video by state senator from Rhode Island, Tiara Mack. Hit the like button and please subscribe. If you are watching on Facebook, thank you. Jamaicans.com. Again, you can support the stream any way you know how, but most importantly, like, comment, and share. But yeah, this idea of our historical context, specifically as Black people in America, it has not been taught to the extent I think from generations past to now. I think especially when it was fresh. Let's just be real. When our parents had to were the first generation, or if your parents are between I think like the 70s and like maybe in the 50s, they
Mhm.
witnessed firsthand. They had to go to their own water fountain. They had to sit in the back of the
Yes.
bus, or
Right.
grandma did, or someone was a sharecropper, or someone's granddaddy was whatever. Those stories were very painful for a lot of people, so they stopped telling them. So
Yes.
then we adopted, I think sometimes, a mindset of a majority culture that really don't apply to us. We really feel like we are free as a bird, as our counterparts maybe down the street, but we're still not
No,
actually.
I
There's
agree.
still so many systemic barriers. Not everybody can get to college. Not everybody like even can get a job. Not once you have a record. I'm like, I think about all the ways in which people are hamstringed. And it's not to make excuses, because I know I was raised not to focus on that. Focus on yourself, being the best you possible. But I think maybe in not um, having that transferal of the understanding of like there is a like post desegregation, post, some of us getting up the economic ladder faster than others.
Yeah.
Poverty again, I think again destroyed a lot of what was traditionally American Black culture, right? It bastardized it.
Mhm.
Start seeing that in the crack epidemic and other parts of the of our past. I think there is a missing kind of like link with there are some Black folks that feel that I have to do better because not only does it affect me, it affects my entire community. Is there something wrong with the Black folks who think I am my own person? I am an individual. I don't owe no other Black person nothing, and I don't need to, play this respectability politics thing where I have to be respectable all the time because you're you, I'm me. Why do I have to have that burden? Is there
Yeah.
something wrong with that idea that I can be just my own person, and why? Go ahead, Noble.
Can I
Yes.
answer that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Michonne.
Yeah, you know what? You go right ahead. Not you, of course. You, whoever thinks that way, and make sure you don't turn around and say, protect Black women because it's that. And then why isn't someone doing something for me? I'm here to come because I don't have this and I want that, and it ain't right because this, that, and the third. No, you be your own person. And I thought that women didn't want to be objectified. I thought that the don't look at me and don't look at me in the gym and don't do this and don't do that, and then you bend over and you twerk at every single point in life. Half of the now we lucky with half of them if they are covered up. Enough of the time they are not. And I am not a proponent, and I'm not. Let me calm down, because child, you know how I get. But let me let you be out here half dressed, God forbid. And I am not condoning any illegal behavior at all. Someone does something that you may not like, and then you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But look at what
Yeah, where my Black folks at? Come protest for me.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And then you
absolutely. We
want all
want
that.
the protection of the pack, but
Right.
we don't want to represent well for the pack.
Right.
Go ahead, Noble.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Michonne, Denise. Make sure you hit the notification bell for Suzette Speaks, and
Thank you.
Thank you.
because especially you manosphere guys, because if we're going to be criticizing our sisters, the ones like these sisters that are speaking up, you literally have an obligation. So to those people that say, to your question, you do have a problem, because when everything else is going on, when people like myself who know they have an obligation to the people that died for me to be here, when we create stuff, when we create songs, you don't complain then. When we create products and we create parties and we create things that you participate in stores and channels like this, you don't have a problem with that. So got to eliminate the something for nothing concept that people think, the something for nothing hustle that we have day in, day out, because your face don't work like that. You don't inhale only, you don't exhale only. So where do you get the concept? You know what I'm saying? It's dangerous. This planet does not do something for nothing. It doesn't operate like that. The genes that you have, people a lot of people suffered to have it. We got this height, we have this ability, we can sing, we've been indemnified, we've been given something. You have an obligation. Just because we're not in those pastimes don't mean that you are
free now.
alleviated. You're not alleviated from your responsibility to be honorable. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't agree with you more. I think there's that idea that again, when everything is hunky dory, you feel like a sense of freedom, and that things are different for me. I don't have to deal with what those people need. I think it goes also to the teaching. And thank you, Karine, that says, sorry, wind up yourself for carnival, not Congress. Again, there's a time and place for everything. Y'all might see me at Miami Carnival. Okay, I would be out there. I'm not gonna be on the hottest hot girl costume, but I'm gonna just manage to keep what I got going on looking decent. Don't take no video, don't take no pictures, but it is a time, it is a place for everything. Fetching is my culture. You understand? My freedom day before Lent, I do what I do. Okay, let you know. Right? Thank you, ancestors.
Right.
However,
Indeed.
I do think this idea of it's all good in the hood until it happens to me. And then all of a sudden I remember, wait a minute, I'm a part of a whole. I think it also goes to the teaching or the lack thereof of citizenship, even for our country as a whole. There's not this side of us, or so many of us, and then some would say you sound like, you're marginalizing the young folks. This idea that we belong to a whole, whether you're talking about culturally, ethnically, whether you're talking about as a country, there is an idea that, again, it ain't always about you. For our country to survive,
Right.
we need people to behave, to act like, with respect, to adhere to certain norms, social norms. But everybody wants to break those down. And then we're mad at the result. Not everybody, you get what I'm saying? Like, what? Go ahead.
On the video, I'm sorry, on the video with the it was a whole panel about this. Alpha, Dr. BOA, Book of Alpha Romani, I think it's called. He was on there with all these women, and they were saying that the reason that they want to be seen and be hoes with the H word is because of white supremacy. And I'm just like, we just trot that out whenever we want to. So you water it down so that it means nothing at the end of the day, and then then had the nerve to say that when the one young lady who disagreed said, it's accountability, it's the way that you should show yourself to be respectful, morals, basically those words. And she says, well, where did those words come from? But from white supremacy. It's white people. That's their standard. That's not ours. I had to end the stream, child. I said, I can't listen to foolishness like this. I said,
no, but they will take your very life from you.
Yeah,
and very cornerstones of what has built us up. Thank you, God. Yes. I look at my grandfather. These were men of moral character, moral fortitude. Everybody had issues. We didn't know really. We were protected from how some people really moved in life, right? You didn't know so-and-so was cheating. You didn't know this, whatever. At least let children believe there could be some kind of a semblance of good morality before they realize the world is crap. Okay, this is how I was raised. But we've gotten to the point where we're giving them the crap at 4 and 5 and 6 years old.
Yes.
And then you want them to imagine a world of morality. They can't imagine that because you've given them adult immorality before they even got to their formative years. It is the strangest thing. Yeah. And to call that as a result of white supremacy?
All the time, racism and white supremacy. It's just the talking points. It's like listening to a political show on a Sunday morning. You just point them out and using them.
Let me bring my brother Andrew in. How are you, Andrew?
Hey there.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
What's going on?
Noble respect.
Andrew, you know he gonna come through on the end of a stream. I love it. What you got?
I can't help it. That's just me. You know how I do it. You know we're late sometimes. You have that what TP time. I know.
That's all right. No, I'm only teasing you. You're always welcome. What are your thoughts on this viral video?
Here's my thing. When you're an elected official, there's a certain standard that you must operate under because you agreed to those terms. She put her position and effectiveness at risk in an area to which she's not the dominant race. So that's on her. Number 2, if she was in a setting where she might have been in a club bugging out in her private time and someone recorded her, that's her private time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I would have felt different about it if it was that. Absolutely.
Yeah, me
too. Here's my thing, Suzette. You know how we do. We do our things when the rubber dub time come on and the lights are right. You know, that's how we do. That's how dance up. That's how we do in our culture. And
listen, y'all better not get me talking about y'all video on a selfie and get me in the background.
Listen, I'm lucky. When I did my dirt, there was Polaroid, so there's only one evidence.
Exactly. Now everything is recorded. Oh my God. I feel sorry for people. I mean, myself included. You can't just be you and be in the moment. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and please don't think I'm in the bathroom. I told him it's a workroom, so I just put a thing there. You know how we do when we fix up our little basement in the way we want to. So don't think it's that.
You good. The regulars on the show know he gonna come with you from the basement. Come here from the basement. That's right.
Always, I have my reasons for doing some work. But no, the truth is this. I mean, there is a decorum. We can't have some of our leaders transform to become Thotimus Prime. I'm working on that trademark. You know what I mean? They can't do that. You can't transform and do them things. Yeah. You know, and number 2, what people fail to realize as a Black person, as your culture, your race and community, you reflect it at all times when you're in the public eye. If you do things and act ignorant, then you're going to put a mark against us. The reality is, as a collective people, anything we do negative hurts us tenfold. Yeah. And they don't realize that this image scars us, and it takes us 100 years to try to get back to half of where we were. Every time we go forward, we go 10 steps back. I don't understand it. We need to have cultural accountability, a collective thing where we just say no, not acceptable, and call it a day. That's the reality.
Yeah.
And the thing is this.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm saying that we can have fun. We can have fun. We can bug out and everything else. But, you know, you have to have decorum. I do property management on top of the real estate. And if I tell you the level of ignorance I deal with when you have someone that comes at you with big pun arms thinking that they're going to hurt you, saying they're from Brownsville 10 times, and you know you can't touch them because you have to hold yourself in. You cannot be impulsive. God knows you can hold him back and he can't swing on you because the arms are short, but you still have to act in a proper way. You know, you have to learn to subdue your passions and impulses. And when you do that one piece of ignorance, that's what they're going to flip.
Yes.
Realize anything that we do, they'll support and endorse the negative. Look at the music. We have Aloe Black. We don't give any rotation. We have so many other artists that are wonderful that are alive. They don't put them out there. But think of the ones that have something negative. They're gonna put that as an anthem.
Yep.
But when they put out their music, they put out the positive stuff, the peaceful stuff. They put it in the proper
placement. I always say that anything could be popular. Anything
Yeah,
can be popular.
no, but
it's
they
not really
choose
that
what's
we
popular.
choosing what's popular. People
Listen, black
in the music
negativity
industry
is
choose what's
popular.
popular. Yeah.
Black negativity is popular.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Anything that demeans us as a collective to make us look simple on a global perspective and incompetent is what's pushed out. That's the narrative.
Exactly.
And we keep on doing these things. A politician cannot do that, no matter how hard you want to bug out. But for you to go set that situation up to think that's cool, that's a low blow. I'm not saying she's not a beautiful woman. I'm not saying that she's not a competent politician, but a simple act ruins our image collectively. You don't just hurt one black politician, you hurt all black politicians, you hurt all black people. Those of us to try to come up positive, unless we're selling out, we're not going to get that necessarily get that nudge in certain instances. You know, we don't want to lose the little sections of power that we have acquired. You know, she doesn't realize that trickles down in her state.
But I don't think she understands. That's what I'm saying. The historical context of the power that she has amassed vis-a-vis the women who wanted to twerk who didn't, vis-a-vis the women who sacrificed. I'm just talking about, of course, you can put black men in there in terms of us as elected officials in any position. Though there are many people that wanted to do foolishness too, but put it aside because they realize, again, we're representing more than ourselves. We want to keep the door open behind us. We want to make sure that you now in 2022 could get elected in Rhode Island. All of that is like an ignorance to all of those choices. That person could have been scandalous too, but they know, dang, if I get caught on this side of town in that kind of tavern or whatever it was, hey, this is going to ruin it for everybody. There was, again, a social responsibility piece to how people thought. But I feel like, let me ask you this, Andrew, and to the panel. Is this showing that same media influence of our constant sexualization as black women is working even on the top rungs of the educated black women? Is this showing
clearly
the power of the ratchet culture that's being pushed? That it even not, let me preface this.
It's being embraced, you mean? I'm sorry.
Yes.
You said embraced. Okay.
Exactly. And mainstreamed.
Well,
I don't know how this can serve black people. That's another separate question. But the question I'm asking, is it showing the power of what's being served up to us and now ingested for this millennial generation to think of as, they grew up on Nicki Minaj, they grew up on Rihanna, even back in her, I'm a Savage type of days. They grew up on Meg Thee Stallion, and then a bunch of, Asia doll, all these dolls, everybody's a doll. So their diet, as far as even in some would argue female R&B, has been like, do what you want, get loose. Yeah. It is your time.
Listen, listen. The problem is, and I'm not trying to cut off anyone, but I'm getting why it's hot. The problem is this: black women especially are affected the most. And here's the whole thing: the worst aspects of what our women do to themselves is standing out more because the men aren't taking it anymore from their culture, and you have certain people of certain persuasions that may be not as masculine outside of our culture take on the attributes of stereotypical types of black women. So they don't do it of stereotypical white women. They do of stereotypical black women, the head mods, all the other stuff that is like really annoying and baser things. They imitate that when it's another race acting in a different, more effeminate manner. I'm just trying to be clean without saying it outright. You know what I mean? I don't want you to get.
Are they doing it because of that, or are they doing it because that's what gets them attention?
Well, that's what gets them attention. That's what gets clicks. That's what they want to see. So remember, it's not a big, if you trip and fall and bust your butt somewhere and it's hilarious, you don't mean to do it. You might even get hurt, but enough people might take advantage of it to make it sell off and do something with it. I take her doing that as a big trip. She hurt herself and hurt the culture. We look incompetent. And the problem is we have people trying to defend some of this baser, primitive activities. And we can't do
public, that. Take it to your bedroom. High five your
man. That's another problem. They don't want to do that there. They want to do it in public and at home, fight whatever. And I don't know her situation, her preference, whatever. It's not really my concern. My concern is how it looks for my daughter. My concern is how it looks towards my sisters, and my concern is how it looks towards my community. And that's a big no-no.
It now has an effect on those your family's ability to enter certain rungs of politics.
Here's another thing. I don't like it when white people come to me and say, "Hey, why do they do that?" I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm not raised that way.
Then I get the, hey girlfriend, what you doing, girlfriend?
Oh, I can't take that. I'm the worst one. I give them that. I give them the irate
like,
look. I give them that look. I give them the train face.
You could just speak regularly. I just speak regularly. You're welcome.
Yeah, most of us do, and they don't get that. Like, I could take people to Brownsville. Everyone does not sound like they're on the wire. That wasn't even in New York. People don't understand. We don't all speak that way. We reflect the communities we come in.
Yeah. But the stereotype's so powerful. I've never interacted that person. I've never interacted with a Black person, and so intimately. Let me try to put them at ease. Let me try to relate. Let me try to. I've had so many instances where
I was in environments where it was like that, and they looked at me and said, "You don't sound like." I said, "Well, I'm born and raised in Brooklyn." What do you mean you're born and raised in Brooklyn? This is how we talk. Because if I spoke the wrong way, I would catch the backhand or whatever.
Because my parents had standards, exactly.
Yeah.
As we talk about again the ratchet culture, it didn't overtake her like in a way that, again, she thought it would be publicly okay because there are so many others of our singers.
You know what the problem was? I'm gonna sound crass with this one, but I'm gonna give you this one. She needed more hugs from her daddy, a kiss from her forehead from her daddy saying "I love you." That's probably it. Because guess what? When you have a girl that at the end of the day you can fight with your daughter, whatever, but you say I love you, kiss them on the forehead, and give them a hug, you let them know that you care for them. They know they don't have to ever go beneath for anything. My daughter sure as hell is not going to go to have to kiss up towards anyone. You know what I mean? That's what it
like is. A lack of attention or.
So I think Tiara.
All right, other folks got to get involved. Thank you, Andrew. Go ahead.
Like 28 years old or something.
Yeah.
Like after a certain point, in my opinion, it's just my 2 cents. You can't blame your parents. This is you. This is your decision. You can own it. You can take everything that comes along with it. I say it plenty of times, all the time. It's time to grow up. And while there can be some effects from whatever the heck it is happened when you were younger, and I'm not like disagreeing with you, Andrew. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that will say, but no, you're an adult, act like an adult, get some counseling, grow up, get someone to help you, ask for some help. You did this, Tiara, this on you, whatever the consequences are. And honestly, I don't think there will be any, because like you said earlier, I think that people want viral moments. I think they're trying to capitalize off of viral moments. They want to get their Kim Kardashian once in a lifetime. I don't know.
Moment. Yeah, because it will last a lifetime. Exactly. She won't live this down. She'll be 60 talking about this.
So
that they can, I could be wrong. Y'all might disagree, but I'm like, this is going to be like your hallmark, ma'am.
I don't know that she knew that it would take off like this. I don't think she expected that, but good luck to her. Her defending it with the, I'm on Ivy League. Girl, you don't act like it. So that's why I say you accept these consequences. Whatever.
But that's what I'm saying. Even the Ivy League sister is now, I want to, quote,
be a part of whole culture. I'll say it for you. HEAUX.
Yes. I was going to go in a different direction, but no, yes, part of it is that. But it is like, what are we normalizing Ivy League? Like, again, she had no idea this would take off across the world. That I can understand that part. This part of her, will it always be secondary now, or at least short term? What do y'all think? Can she get back the respect?
I don't think. No, from who?
Her voters.
She's running uncontested. She doesn't have to worry about it. She's the only one.
Is it now in her race?
Her voters are going to be the Black women.
But
she didn't lose them, but people of that operated at a high level, people with that respect themselves.
There's not a lot of
remember she's from Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's not a lot of Black voters in Rhode Island, but they voted her in. From what I understand, from the little bit I know, y'all, is that she's the LGBT Black cover of these boxes. And then white people voted her in because they're liberal. And I don't want to get into that, but I'm just saying that that's the reason why she got in. But she's also running uncontested. So she could conceivably do whatever she wants to do. And she's still going to get voted by one vote.
And even if she did leave, she could go federal. She could be,
other open. There are people that fully support her, mind you. We might be thinking, everyone feels a certain way. There's a great diversity of opinions, and many people are like, leave her alone. Like, this is her right. She was on vacay. She's body positive is another thing I've been seeing. She's not this stick figure. Who controls our body? I think she's calling it body autonomy. I didn't screenshot that one. one of
Child,
the
they
Twerk
be
for
coming
body
up.
autonomy. I control my body. No one tells
They're
me
coming
what
up
my
with
body
more
can
crap
handle.
every day.
Yeah, it's
I don't
true.
even I don't even
Mhm.
want to try to figure it all out. I'm still stuck on fat phobic because you want to exercise and have a good body. You're considered fat phobic. I said, y'all just want to be oppressed. You just want to make stuff up and be difficult. I just concluded that's what it is. And it's women. I'm sorry. Shout out to the women in the chat. But I'm
Listen, yeah, there is so much more. I want to bring up something. Noble, did you want to add to this part of the conversation before I bring up a tweet that she tweeted?
Oh yeah, we got to see that.
So this tweet, it really bothered me. I saw it. Let me pull down the comment.
child.
This one came off of Fox 26, Houston's YouTube channel. I just had not time. I just went ahead and grabbed it from there. It says, and again, her Twitter, you can look at, it's public, so just trying to keep it from, it's not going after any, information about her or things that she hasn't said, right? So she said, really excited for, this was February 2022, February 2nd, 2022, excuse me. Really excited for the House Sex Ed bill, thinking about the Rhode Island House hearing later today.
Why are you
Comprehensive, queer inclusive, pleasure-based sex ed was a highlight of my time teaching. So this is a whole new layer to her story. People again have picked up again when things like this happen, people pick up all kinds of stuff about your past, right? Now everybody's looking at your tweets, everybody's looking at your Instagram, everybody's trying to see, who is this woman, right? That's how viral it went.
I believe that's a gay agenda. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say that because I've seen that pleasure-based sex education coming from people who are LGBTQ. Shout out to y'all.
Why do you have to teach it?
Other comments, like I said, this was eyebrow raising for many people. That's why I brought it up. It's a part of the story because again, it talks to, her, goes to her mindset, goes to her, when she talks about policy, clearly you want us to focus on those things that you just recently put on your Instagram, but there's a lot of other people, questioning who is she? What's going on here? But again, really, really eyebrow raising for some. Others again are totally comfortable with pleasure-based sex ed. I mean, again, there's a diversity of opinions on it, but I think there are a lot of people that were really, surprised by this. They were like, whoa, what else is she so-called, passionate about, etc. What are your thoughts, guys? Go ahead, Noble.
Why are these alphabet people, that's what we call them to kind of get away from them, why are they so excited to teach other people's children when you decided not to participate in the creation of it? That's like a person who chose, I'm gonna live in a house, but I'm so excited about tents for people that's homeless. Like, I don't understand. If you opted to not participate in something, why are you excited to teach a child about pleasure, sex ed, when sex is not for pleasure, it's for making people? I don't understand. Again, you chose something where the face you're using doesn't even come from that. You want to be involved in something that has nothing to do. It's sweet. This is the weirdest time in the history of the planet.
It is definitely weird. I agree with you.
I'm going to add on because, again, that is going to provoke some strong feeling and controversy. Everybody's going to have a different opinion. I get it. This goes to, especially in Florida, we had that bill that was called the Parental Rights in Education. Now has been, coined Don't Say Gay. I don't think, again, that for it to be so opposed in one arena and then other people are quietly excited about it. Like it is, I've heard in both kind of liberal and more conservative quarters within my friend groups, within just my, my professional groups, people are feeling like they can't say stuff, but some people are really happy about it. Now, again, was there this extensive type of sex education going on between K through 3? Probably not. But preemptively, Mr. DeSantis was like, okay, I'm going to make a headline. I'm going to run for president later. I'm going to make sure you guys know who I am nationally, right? People can say it was for all kinds of reasons.
Just for like 1 second. They're excited about teaching children sex, but they won't teach them how to read. The boys read at a 6th grade level. They won't teach them etymology, parsing, and syntax. But you're excited to teach them about sex? They don't know what words mean.
Can we get them on reading level first? I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
How do you have children that people that don't know why you want to put sex ed in, but not financial literacy?
Yeah.
Yo,
or
that's
math
crazy.
to grade level. I know, I hear you. We say we focus on the wrong thing. Wrong
Yes.
priority, says Noble. Wrong priorities. Where are our priorities? You want to add on, Andrew?
Well, here's my thing. I think that one, she's trying to flip her mistake and trying to bring other things in there because I think it's kind of lowbrow. I'm a parent. Certain things, I'm not talking about general sex to my daughter outside of the basic biology of intercourse. They know this already, they read it, so be it. But I agree that they are trying to indoctrinate at
Yes.
times. I feel that it's not always comfortable. This is where you mess with religious freedoms, because technically the state's kind of interfering on it because not all religious entities agree with that type of lifestyle. I'm not saying anyone should not do what they want to do, but the fact that you're trying, I'm not going to say normalizing, but that you're trying to put it in a way that you have to learn this, you have to learn that. They can't force me to do that. It's like other issues and topics where they'll try to tell me this person is this sex because they want to. No, when I go to the hospital, I'm going to get treated for something. They're going to declare me something specific. I think this is where
to the trans issue, etc. I don't want to get too much off a topic, but you may as well take it.
The thing is, it is relevant because what happens is you have the goals of doing things that are basic. I think they overstep sometimes, and they try to create these agendas that take away from other pressing issues that we have in communities. They're not talking about the murder rate in the Black communities. You're talking about teaching this foolishness in school. You're not talking about people having bad diets. That should be taught in school. You teach people how to eat, what they should eat. How to maintain
killed
healthy
Michelle
lifestyle.
Obama for that. Yeah, hold on. They want you to know how to eat properly. How dare you? They want to sell you fattening, salt laden, and make
these
profit.
They want to go do this. They're not going to talk about that lifestyle thing. That's optional. If I have a choice between sexual preferential teaching and teaching how to balance a checkbook, how to learn a trade, how to do these other things, I think the trade and learning how to eat properly, learning how to balance a checkbook would be more pressing. But they go against that. That's my problem. That issue should be tabled right now. Focus on getting into trades. Focus on making people more literate. Focus on teaching people how to live, how to balance their checkbooks, how to maintain a lifestyle, how to live within your means, or i.e. below your means. That's more important to me than teaching about playing Pokemon or whatever the case you want to call it. I don't know.
Hold on. Come on. So there are going to be people that disagree. Thank you for sharing your opinion. This is an open forum. I'm not saying I agree with you, everything you said, but this is an open forum. You can have your opinion, and I'm going to allow you, again, to fully express yourself. This is not censored. Again, just use words that don't trigger the algorithm, right? But your point, some people will disagree. Some people will agree. There are going to be people that say, well, why can't we do both? I'm just thinking like, what would the opposition to what you just said? Fine, not going back and forth with you, but I'm just trying to propose so that we're not in just a bubble in an echo chamber where, hey, Brick Slinger, I see you in the back. The back is closed. You're the last person that will come up as a guest. Bureau, Hammer TV, interesting comment. Miss Mack will stay within Rhode Island to run for the U.S. Congress. So she's going to move up, go from state to feds. Which would require, however, more scrutiny, and she will not survive it. Let me tell you, help us all, God, to be ready for the public scrutiny, especially if you're going into politics, because it's not a game. Like, everybody's coming through everything on both sides for her, right? People who are pro who she is, what she stands for, her agenda, her policies, and people who are like, we're going to make sure this woman never sees the light of day again. People do that research. It can get very messy. That's why a lot of good people stay out of politics in general. But in this specific case, I do think this will be, something that will just remain some would call it a mark on her, but it's going to be hard for her to shake it. And didn't mean it in a pun. Okay, let me keep it moving.
That already.
It was kind of hard for her to shake it because that old slow motion for me. Slow motion for me. Oh my goodness, I am better than this. Okay, sorry guys, sorry. It's getting late. Let me get into adding the Brick Slinger. How are you? You ready to come up? Give me a thumbs up. How you doing? Good to see you, sir. What's going on? How are you?
Doing good. How's everybody doing? I know everybody's having a good
Oh,
discussion so far, and I'm
Yes,
excited to
thank you.
know.
Thank you for coming up. And I would love to hear your thoughts on everything we've been discussing today.
All right, thank you again. So I guess I'm one of the millions of people that only know this particular Senate candidate
Mm-hmm.
due to the TikTok and the viral video. And one thing I know for sure is that we're definitely not in a time where putting out a decent campaign is important anymore. It's now social media. It's more than just word of mouth. And to answer the question that is up in hand, to twerk or not to twerk, when it comes to like a power position like U.S. Senate or state Senate or even president, let's take it even smaller and say mayor or alderman.
Yes.
No, not to twerk for this reason and reason only in political reason.
Yeah.
When you do something like this, you open more doors, or you leave the door wider for folks to be like, do I really want this person to be in this position to take care of a certain situation in this level? Because now she put herself open to be scrutinized, not just for her sexuality, not just for her political views, but also her social views. She may be excited about this, that, and the third. And even then, on that one particular treat where it was all about sex ed bill, now it get to the point where yeah, we now see in an agenda, and not only do we see one agenda, we see two agenda. We see a black person who represents the letter people, as I would like to prefer to them, not just the alphabet group, but the letter people. We seeing we and the way I see it is seeing something that's going backwards in order to move forward, which is causing so many confusion because what she represent does not represent all of us, but at the same time, it's like it's an automatic default for the simple fact that she's a black woman, not
yeah.
because she's a black uh, person that's in the letter people, but just a black person in general. So she basically is going to be the person that's going to be either the blame for things to be what's going to be, or she's going to be the success of which agenda she's choosing to push the most.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Anybody want to respond?
I agree. I would like.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing. Rick Slinger, respect. I gotta say is that I agree with you on several points. Now, when we have our issues as a community, it's a shame that many of our own don't put that as a priority. You say equal rights and everything else, but you're putting the other stuff in the classroom. You're not pushing in true American history that includes what really happened during slavery, Reformation, and everything else. You're not talking about those aspects of education. You're trickling in other things. And to be honest with you, true history needs to come first.
Yeah.
Teaching people how to live in today's society needs to come first. So they're trying to go off the track. I'm not saying that people shouldn't have rights and it shouldn't be treated equal,
Right.
but at least are acknowledge the marginalized people. I will go so far as to say that certain people in other lifestyles are not as marginalized as minorities tend to be. Because when we come out being, I guess, more what's the majority normative behavior, we get ignored when we try to do certain things. They don't acknowledge that sometimes we have to have extra steps to do certain things. Even at our best, we have certain issues, and if we don't conform to certain behaviors and mannerisms, we won't get acknowledged. Those are more of a priority to me as a Black person. I think that emphasis on history, acknowledging the facts that are there, and teaching people how to maintain, which is more global, would be more respected. If I say I want to teach your kids how to maintain themselves, I know it sounds redundant, but I want to teach your kids how to hold their books up, do what they have to do, how to work with their hands a little bit, how to build their societies, and teach them core values. Everything else is decorative. It's not as much of a priority as other things. That's just
Yeah,
me.
you have some very strong co-signers in the chat with you. Mickey, Moments with Mickey Red, nice to have you. Personal finance, home ec, woodworking, we're all tossed out along with arts and music. Yes, stuff that helped us, find our way into an economy that's unforgiving.
Well, what the
Honest.
heck are they teaching in school then? That's like everything. What in the world?
They just
Yeah.
teach
Well,
you
they're teaching the
to
agenda that she's
But
pushing.
and there are people that will argue this is the school's responsibility. Um, I think that goes into a deeper. I don't know if we can pick up
much.
that what the
Yes,
purpose of
yes.
education is and public education at that, because they're going to be a very diverse, based on our panel here today, ideas as to what the purpose of a school is.
But Suzette, may I add
Yeah.
this to you? One thing too.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
take it this way,
Don't get
real
me
quick.
started.
When you add in history, there are certain things that those groups had fought for as well. That's a part of American history. But the fact that you don't allow the full history to be taught, you're denying yourself your own things. You're contradicting. You need to be inclusive from a standpoint. This is a couple hundred years of indoctrination and trying to minimize the way certain people were treated globally.
So let me ask you
And
this,
that's
Andrew. Hold on. You're saying you're doing some good work, and I'm getting you in terms of like you're saying the most essential skills, the most essential histories, the things that can help a person be successful in real life needs to be the focus of education. I'm going to back you up a little bit away from education as the piece of whether we should teach LGBTQ in education as such. I'm going to ask you about the twerk culture. Have we as Black people allowed that part of our culture to become mainstream, promoted, even some would say foisted upon us by the media and music giants?
Well,
And
yes.
is it time to stop that as being, Meg the Stallion being one of the highest selling, Grammy winning, all this, every major top selling female artist, rap artist, let's say, twerks.
Well, here's the whole thing.
Is this a thing
Sex
that
sells.
now, with relation to this story,
Mhm.
that we as a community have allowed to kind of been, I don't want to say infiltrate our culture, but now we haven't said enough against why are we allowing people to dance like this in public or in rap videos, or I see below the Sierras, because Sierra is married and more classy and she has much more quote respectability, right? Sierra went back to the rooftop on the Chevy on the drop top and she's back at it 20 years later. I mean, and the comments say, yes, can't wait, go girl, you doing it, look at you, blah blah blah. The comments is a full cosign. So
Now,
why is it different now? The senator should get the high fives out of girls, or what is it about us in terms of what we are co-signing, what we are approving or embracing that leads to someone thinking this is a moment that I can put online? Is it our fault for thinking or for not speaking up prior, or more, strongly, more vociferously against, and therefore is it kind of like our passive adoption of it? I don't know.
I'm gonna go a step further. I was going one step further.
People only do what they're allowed to get away with. It starts when you're a child, and what you have is people like myself. We grow up in these households with our so-called mothers, and I can't do what you do. Like as a male, you can do whatever you want to do. I mean, as a female, you can do whatever you want to do. As a male, I can't do the stuff that you do. I'm bigger than you, I'm faster than you, I'm stronger than you, I got more requirements than you. So when I go out and I try to emulate what you do, you being my mom, people get hurt. And then I'm given penalties that would cause me to not want to do anything in the first place. So I said all that to say, it brings it to a habit where people they have a habit of not responding to important things. And we grew up in these households where the wrong things are never addressed. The good things is categorized as fun and playing. And there's no mitigation for 18, 20 years. No mitigation. There's nothing that happens. It's like it's okay. Like trash in the hood, like graffiti in the hood. Because you can
like inappropriate behaviors with grown men with young kids in the hood.
Yeah, like any mother knows this. You can hear the tone of my voice if you have toddlers. If you come and you say something, they'll hear you. They won't do. If I come as a stranger and I say something to them, I'm gonna completely get their attention. You know your voice don't mean as much to them as mine do, and that's a fact.
Mm, interesting. Go ahead, Andrew. You
Because
wanted to jump in?
yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, no, because I was continuing on this point. The problem is we have the loss of intimacy and privacy. People have gotten into the habit of putting everything out there all the time to the point where there's nothing private. They don't understand that when you make something too common, it becomes less attractive. You know where I'm coming from? That's the whole thing. What I like about a woman is the things that she does just for me. And in turn, I don't have to repeat those intimate moments. That's my thing. You want to get with someone? I'm gonna work their head first, and I get in their mind. Everything else is mine. You
Andrew,
know what I
you
mean?
different though. These young bucks ain't like that now. Come on now, Andrew. We're not gonna
No, but
ask
they
like
need to learn
everybody.
that. There's a thing with kids. I've worked with kids since I was 14. I worked with younger kids. When you let someone feel something, well, I'm speaking to you this way. This is it. I was always taught that you punish in private and you compliment in public. So you want to go ahead and motivate certain behavior, certain things. You allow them to come to correction so that not everyone knows you corrected them. Like if I went to Megan Thee Stallion said, yo, Meg, here's the truth. You went to college. You have such a great example. You don't have to do this anymore. So maybe you don't have to ridicule them publicly, but someone has to get in their head to go motivate them to be better. And that's the thing that is needed, because there's that point where the parenting is not the same. Parents are too young at times. And that's the thing. They're
They
missing
haven't
that
come to
little
their
thing.
own awarenesses, yeah.
They
Until
don't
it's
have
too
it
late.
because
Yeah.
the YouTube culture,
Thinking
the
about
immediate
how we
gratification.
can pull. Sorry to cut you. Solutions here before we head out. Quincy says, "Twerk for me, not IG." That's the
Yes.
motto for 2022. Lord have mercy. Or TikTok. I had TikTok on there. Moments with Mickey Red says she is a senator. There are levels and rules to social media, PR, etc. That's why, and I think someone said she needed a social media manager, and that would have got her out of this. And someone would have been able to say, sis, not that picture. Let's not that video. What works for one might not be the path you take in order to connect with your audience. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it just was a bad judgment. She just thought it would be fun to post. I'm assuming based on some of the interviews I've seen. I haven't played any of those videos. You can watch videos that she's done, and she's just like so surprised, and it's a struggle between what she's felt like she had to put out there to meet societal standards versus being authentic. She's been struggling with feeling inauthentic, and I mean there's a couple politicians I know, especially in the South Florida area, who ran as a married person and then ran again as like an openly gay person afterwards. And people have asked that, like, were you this or were you that? And that's not to debase or demean. It to me is, again, as far as like a intellectual conversation. Maybe that person, this might be the argument. I don't feel like I could have won if I didn't present this type of imagery. And then others might say, be yourself. If that being you, you should be you. So would you have felt comfortable if she was like the wild, crazy, I'm not saying crazy might be the wrong word, but openly expressive person, and this was always her? Or is it because she presented herself as a more conservative politician that this was a problem? If she had been like this the whole time, you think people would even be talking about it?
I don't think she'd have been a senator, to be honest.
When you talk to
Depends on
town.
the state.
Yeah, it's kind of scandalous. I don't know if she'll survive it. And maybe she's, like you say, there's nobody running against her, Michonne Denise. So I would love to get final thoughts and comments on today's topic. I've enjoyed all of you. Again, not an attack on her as a person, but more so the behavior as indicated in terms of, is it appropriate for her position in this political game? And is it bad in terms of its reflection on all of us as a, race, a community, whatever you want to call it? So to twerk or not to twerk, I'm going to get everybody's final thoughts before we wrap up. I'm going to start with you, Brickslinger. What are your final thoughts and comments on today's topic?
Definitely not to twerk. We as the people trying to move forward, there are certain things we need to just let go as anchors and sandbags in order for the ship to just keep moving forward. One of them is the embrace and empowerment of twerking. And understand, it's nothing against the dance. It's the idea of using it as a tool to get folks' attention and expect folks to be like, hey, if this person can do this, maybe I can do this. Or if this person can do this, then maybe this person has more to offer. That's one. And two, if nothing else, like you said, it's nothing against the person. It's the thing, that propaganda, the
what she
that goes
symbolizes, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
yeah, that's what's on the table as we speak of this moment. It's not that she is what she is, what she's trying to do in order to get votes and all that stuff, which also adds on to the conversation. And for the record, Megan Thee Stallion is not a dope rapper, that's my opinion. She's good. She's a good stripper dancer, but she's not a dope rapper, and I'm standing by that.
Oh well,
I agree with that.
Not the shots fired and the mic drop before he leaves. Thank you, the Brick Slinger. Do you have your own channel, or you just come through every now and then and kind of be on other people's channel?
Actually, I do have my own
you do?
YouTube channel. Yes, I do.
Tell us about it. Real quick, what do you do on your YouTube channel?
Yes, it's entitled as his name, The Brick Slinger. I just do exactly what I do on the conversation. It's just have a moment of just venting and ranting on stuff that either don't make sense or does make sense but don't get enough attention. And plus, being a believer myself, also giving the scriptures and speak and add on to what it is that the Bible speaks on and the world seems to ignore it. And so if there's scriptures that need to be acknowledged that doesn't get acknowledged, I'll bring it up. And if there is scriptures that seem to get misscrutinized or misquoted and stuff like that, I correct that as well. Now, in the most loving but strict, firm way. So
well, we'll have to come check you out. I have not seen you. Am I muted? No. Okay, I haven't seen your content. I will have to check you out. Thank you so much for coming up today and sharing in today's discussion. You know you're always welcome. Bye now. See you soon. Okay. Thank you. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay, Michonne.
I'll go next. So it's a no for me on the twerk or not to twerk. Something
also a no.
Yeah, some things just need to be kept in private or kept on the stage, whether it's a stripper stage or the entertainment stage. I'm all for that. Not a great rapper. Shout out to LL Cool J. But I'm gonna say that unfortunately it seems like we're lost as a Black women, and I talk a lot obviously on my channel about them and where I see the problems are and get all the pushback. I don't see that it's going to change, but that don't stop nobody from doing anything that I think needs to be done. But as far as Tiara is concerned, this has made her more popular. I don't think honestly that it's going to hurt her. It actually is going to help her because we Black women seem to support the ratchet. So I think it's just going to be better. And again, since she's not uncontested, she's going to win her seat. And because she's LGBT, I think that they'll continue to support her based off of those things as well. It all kind of aligns together. So her 15 minutes will be over soon. And then we'll move on to the next ratchet hoe, Heaux.
Oh boy, thank you. Listen, she's quite opinionated, y'all. She has never left what needs to be said unsaid. I appreciate you. I appreciate your transparency, your honesty, even when people might come for you and be like, oh, why are you so hard on those women, the Black women, etc. But you keep it 100, and I appreciate, your takes, even on just not today, but just on the most crazy stories I've seen around YouTube. If you want interesting content, definitely go check out Miss Michonne Denise. Drop her, please. My moderators, please drop her channel in the chat. Thank you, Michonne, for sharing your opinions today. Hanging out with us. Good seeing you. Bye-bye. And good having you. Bye now. All right. What about, let's say with Andrew. Andrew, you go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good day. Oh boy. I think it's a no-go with the twerking. She could do better. There's a lot of other styles she could do. You don't have to be so crass. When you're amongst your friends, familiars, and it's private, anything goes. Bug out, have fun. But you need to teach people and set the example and tone of there's a time and place for everything. You're a public figure. You're an example and role model to children, your race, your family, everything else. You don't want to bring shame to your house. I mean, that's just me in general, And it's just,
your feelings are being, your sentiments are being echoed by MC. Thank you for the love. Recovery, Wellness, and Relapse Network says she pissed and destroyed the images of Black elected officials, past and present. And now she wants to deflect her misgivings. This is her way of apologizing. Strong feelings there. Thank you for sharing your sentiment and for supporting the content. But yeah, lots of people. That's why I decided to come and do a show. Like it's folks who would say, well, we need pro people liked what she did. Well, I opened up the panel. And even if she would want to come do an interview, I would love to have her on. But yeah, we try to give her, her due as an individual, but it's important also to really talk about if you are in such an office, the standard that is expected of you is different from what your personal standard is. And that's, I think she got a rude awakening of that it's not just anything that you feel goes, especially if you work for the people. So shout out to you, Andrew. Thank you for coming up as always.
Take care, man.
Always enjoy hearing from you.
Take care.
You always
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for all your
Peace.
support. I appreciate you, my brother. See you soon. Yes, thank you again, MC Recovery and Wellness. I'm just digesting more your thoughts here. To twerk or not to twerk? Then there was one. Mr. Noble, what do you think? Final thoughts on today's topic?
Definitely not twerk. As I said, I think twerking has morphed into or mutated into an act of rebellion and defiance. Only rebelling and defying your own, which really doesn't make any sense. But I guess it has something to do with a display of displeasure with the men, and to show that if there's displeasure or there's something unsettling with the women, then something got to be wrong with us. And I think a lot of the things you see with Black females is I call it the envy culture, where like Jay-Z was wrong. He said males shouldn't be jealous as a female trait. And I disagree. You see jealousy with males all the time.
I was about to say, I do see men who are jealous of other men.
Yeah. Jealousy is when you want something because you see somebody else with it. Envy is different. Envy is when you want something because you've seen somebody else with it and you don't want them to have it, even if there's enough. I think a lot of this rebellion is to keep what the attention that we males get for what we do from this oppressive society, with respect to the fact of how many of these Black females trade on their family, trade on their children. They've done so much for this oppressor, and he still presses us. And I think some of the lower, untrained, undisciplined young ladies, if I could say that, are in perpetual defiance. That's what I see, and that needs to change.
Wow. Again, some strong words. I think there are people, again, on both sides, and many that will agree with you that this is not, again, serving our culture, and that it is a defiant type of act. And I got to really think about that more to form my own opinion, because I never really thought about it as defiant to society, to the patriarchy, to, the limits that you place on me. I'm going to use my body in this way, in this kind of sexually seductive gyration to say F you, basically. And
along with the outfits, along with the music, along with the it's an F you, my whole persona. And I think that's really dumb for anybody to do. My identity is not based off what somebody else do. I'm not going to be Black because white people say they're white. My identity has nothing to do with you. I'm not chatting with you.
Yeah, I got to really think about that. And again, how much it's influencing our culture is really, and culture around the world. Indeed. You got people, white British ghettos, twerking it and killing it because of what has been, promulgated and perpetuated about us, thinking it's cool, it's hip, it's the fashion, it's everything. So you got people all over the world, white and Black, everywhere, kind of taking up this culture. And it's just interesting as to how it's now changing us. Many would say over sexualizing us to the point where we don't know what is appropriate where. But go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's the new modus operandi. Quick fix, instant gratification, something for nothing guaranteed. It's just quick. I'm gonna get a reaction real quick. And when we go into the schools, it's the same thing. Learn how to follow directions. All you do in school now is just follow directions. You really don't learn much. So
it's definitely like a worker factory. And you have to teach your child creativity. You have to teach your child critical thinking, critical
Yes.
thinking has like been removed. If you're in like a regular average school, most of the curriculum is not going to give you critical thinking and a lot of other essential skills for life. But we're going to have to leave it there. Noble,
You.
thank you so much for coming up. Maybe I'll have to hit you up maybe for like August and we can do some kind of collab.
Thank you. Did
But
I
yeah,
make up for? Did I make up for the?
yes,
For
for the rating game. Okay, yes, you can make up for the rating game. But thank you, Nova. Seriously,
like,
very thoughtful perspectives today, and always, y'all check out his channel, The World Class. I want to thank you and all of the panelists that came up and shared their thoughts. All right, I appreciate you, brother. I'll talk to you
thank you.
soon.
Peace.
You take care. All right, you're welcome up anytime. Wow, what a wonderful conversation. Hit the like button on your way out. I will be going live Monday. Andre Hatchet coming through, dating as a high value man. I don't have the thumbnail made yet, or I would throw it up. Dating as a high value man. I was like, okay, we're going there, brother. Monday. Tuesday, I will be on the Gray Pill podcast. So all the speakers, please, as soon as I get the links, I'll put the YouTube link for where you can watch it. Tuesday at 7, I won't be live. I will be at the Gray Pill podcast show, a woman's panel led by Shoo Shoo. Y'all saw her up here talking Roe v. Wade a few weeks ago, but Shoo Shoo Shamaria, thank you for having me. I'll be there Tuesday. Wednesday, I'll have Ezra, the insurance broker, talking about men protecting their legacy. And Thursday, I think I'm going to be in late night streaming with boss attorney Bree. She was on my show a few weeks back, even maybe like a month ago or so, talking about male victims of domestic violence. Go back and watch it. It was an excellent show. And I'm going to return the favor and go over on her channel, I think Thursday. So I will not be live on mine. I'm going to be live Monday and Wednesday. Tuesday, sharing the love over at the Gray Pill podcast. And Thursday, sharing some love over on Boss Attorney Bree's channel. But guys, great conversation today. Thank you so much. Leave your comments in the chat, spam. Afterwards, you can go on the YouTube page and you can also leave your comments there. The more comments, the more people see it. So hit the like button. That also helps. For everyone who supported the stream, thank you so much. Y'all know we do it for the love, but it also helps us build our programming and get better, obviously, on our content when we get support from each and every one of you. So thank you, everybody who Cash Apped, everybody who super chatted. Much respect, much love. And finally, not to be left out, our co-sponsors over on Jamaicans.com. We could go even deeper. Y'all know I be wanting to take this 4 hours or 5 hours, but we just don't have that type of time. The conversation definitely, we're scratching the surface almost, and we have gone pretty deep. So there's much more to be said. I'm not going to say everything here was the breadth and length of every part of this, angle of this issue, but I think we did a lot of good unpacking today. So I'm really happy. We had 100+ likes. Yay. Thank you for coming through. I see you, Brown Gal Peace Lounge. I see you so much. Thank you, RM Sunbreeze. Fantastic. Thank you, the world famous and the Gray Pill. I'm envious of a few in the past, but earned for what I desire. Okay, I hear you. Talking about what Noble just said. All right. Well, I appreciate you. Differences of opinion are always welcome. We're just trying to elevate the conversation. All right. So I'll see you guys Monday. Dating as a high value man coming right up. And then I hope you guys will come and show me some love when I go on some other people's platforms during the rest of the week. All right. Take care, like, and subscribe. That's how you help us grow. Subscribe. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Take care.